Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Bean me.
bean me up, Scotty. All right.
Hey, son, you want any beans? Bean me up, mommy.
Beam me up, potty.
God damn it.
The D20 Syndicate presents The Lineage of Moonreach.
All right, welcome to the D20 Syndicate podcast.
Woo!
Woo! This is a Dungeons and Dragons role-playing live play podcast. We get together every week and we act like nerds, and now we're recording it so the rest of you guys can have secondhand embarrassment. But it's fun.
Ow!
And
I mean, we've already all been embarrassed by this, so...
yeah. I mean,
I'm embarrassed in every...
if you know us in real life and you accepted our friend requests on Facebook,
I'm
you
only
probably
embarrassed by
already
you guys. Proud of what I do.
You're belching.
Proud.
So anyway, we're going to go around real quick and introduce ourselves, just so those listeners at home know who's speaking. Yeah, you can kind of get a little bit more familiar with us. So I am your host and dungeon master, Seth, and I'll be playing the random non-playing characters that these guys aren't doing. And there's a cast of probably 150 now so far that I keep for some reason
Everyone has
introducing.
unique voices, too. Get ready.
All right, and I'll just go clockwise here.
My name is Tomas, and I play Tomar Iron Fist. He's a plain-touched fighter. That is a homebrew class that I made. So we're experimenting because we haven't played as him as a plain-touched fighter yet. He used to be a cleric. So if you guys want to know more about the character, we can send you a link in the description, and feel free to tell us how fucking wrong we are, or if we're doing something wrong, or if we can change the class at all. This is kind of an experiment.
It could end up being very overpowered or underpowered.
Or perfect.
Yeah,
on the first try.
Maybe I switched it.
It didn't look overpowered when I looked at it.
I mean, it's just words, so...
That is a good point, though. In the description on this, we'll have a link to all of our social media profiles and our website, so make sure you check that out right now. Right now, we're going with bangbros2.com, so that's going to be our placeholder website, but it'll probably change.
Not to be confused with bangbros2.com.
That's the French site. Don't go there.
It's really raunchy.
All right, next up.
All right, I am Elijah, and I am playing the character Hearse Stag Tree Hollow. I'm a dwarf druid of the Circle of Dreams.
Nice. Well met, Herstag. And Herstag is a new character this arc. We are on our third arc here, but the first arc that you guys are listening to. So he previously played a character called Smoozog Wilkins, known colloquially to his friends as Smoochie. So you'll hear references to that.
Yeah. He was a half-orc.
Or the Uncaged Wolf, if you were looking for a cooler name.
Or the Chief Slayer. He has a lot of different names.
That he gave
or
himself.
Big Cock Smoochie. He was frequently without pants.
Because people kept stealing my pants.
Next up.
Hi, I'm Lindsay, and I'm playing Pinwin Dingleroot. And Pinwin is a ranger, beastmaster, part bard too.
College of Glamour.
College of Glamour, which will be a recent thing.
And you might not be able to tell, but Pinwin is a male.
A male halfling.
Yes. So... But he's also kind of effeminate, so like that will be sort of why Lindsay's
perfect.
voice sounds like this.
All right, next up.
I'm Michaela, and I am playing Gorbel, and she is a half-orc sword bard.
Nice. And she is she's a muscle bard. It's kind of a reflavoring of a bard class. You guys will see. Basically uses...
I wrestle for work.
she's basically a show wrestler using taunts and poses to cast a lot of her spells. So how was everybody's weekend so far? I'm jumping right into the awkward.
We don't do stuff on the weekends other than D&D
I
stuff.
slept last night a little bit.
This is kind of it.
Yeah, I did some homework yesterday.
That's
Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It's baller.
Yeah, because I'm 12.
I drank 1 beer last night and then got sleepy.
I drank 2 and then got sleepy. Because we're not 12, we're 112. But yeah, so you guys want to just kind of go in guns blazing?
Yep.
Wait, nobody said anything about guns. We've advanced 500 years. Is that what's going on?
Yes. Everyone has a gun now.
Christ.
Except
Yes.
all of my characters have 2 guns. So yeah, we will be playing. We have some homebrew rules. One of the rules you guys will see is we have something called BAM cards. We'll get more into that later, but they basically are a way of a character once per arc throwing their BAM card and allowing themselves to do something super awesome and potentially narrative changing. That would be outside of the normal rules. Rule of cool.
They stand for badass moment.
That's what they stand for. Badass moment cards. And they have been some extremely badass moments, some heart-wrenching moments, some funny moments. And, Gorbel turned into a fucking dragon, so that was pretty sweet.
Yep.
All right, so let's get going on this. So this takes place 1 year and 3 months after we ended our last arc. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
It is the year 378 CD, a full year and 3 months since the events of the battle in the Gods Valley where we left you all, and some things in the world have changed. Tomar Ironfist, the brash and stubborn cleric of the Forge, has seemingly abandoned his companions, the Wolves of Moonreach. You might remember that he left in the middle of the night, leaving only a note and his hammer, Karag's Fury.
Is this like the Star Wars crawl?
Yeah, it's slowly rolling
But it's
up.
like super long, so it never ends.
Yeah. Everybody leaves. This is the time to go have a bathroom break. The remainder of you traveled back to Old Cairn, the abandoned town where you all fought off an insurrection of Rothian separatists and defeated a powerful vampire lord. When you arrived, you found it much like you had left it just weeks before, largely unoccupied, save for Fen, his wife, and her father Gillamichael, the ancient adventurer. The surviving barbarian horde followed you all, and many towns along the way barred their gates to you because of it. In the following weeks, rumors reached Old Cairn. They indicated that the Wolves of Moonreach had betrayed the council and killed Elkazel Gentris, one of the kingdom's most beloved and respected Crownsguard.
You mean he got thrown like 400 feet into the sky and crashed in the woods?
Yeah, but that's...
I also turned into a dragon, by the way.
Oh, that is true. You took over a dragon's brain. Now the wolves are considered traitors and enemies to the boy king Gust of the 12th. You all know that the council was planning to disrupt peace in Vaeldelin by attempting to attack towns under the guise of tribesmen raids, but it seems the rest of the country does not know this. 1 month after the arrival at Old Cairn, Smoozog Wilkins, the uncaged wolf, half-orc leader of the barbarian tribes, and known to the group as Smoochy, took most of his men, including Beldan the Deathless, Aelia, Beldan's wife, and their child Ember, and headed out north again in an effort to keep the Vaeldelin army occupied. Smoochy's reasons were sound, but his heart seemed somewhere else. With him left 400 of the tribesmen, leaving only 30 to help with the rebuilding of the new city. Shortly after that, Pinwin Dingleroot left with Durant Whiteleaf to visit his home village of Shadeholm to see his family and ailing father. With her most trusted companions gone or missing, a jilted-feeling Gorbel Icetower began the good work of transforming the ancient and dilapidated town known as Old Cairn into the new, rebuilt and reformed headquarters of your fledgling army.
I wonder how many times, if we could tally how many times Gorbel has been abandoned throughout her life. This is probably pretty large.
It's the story of my life. It started with my father.
This new headquarters is the place the men and women have begun to call Wolves' Rest. It is now the 4th day of winter, and as a raven flies over the snowy landscape of the Atreus Plains. Its dark eyes find a dotted line along the unbroken sheet of white. A cautious train of riders moves carefully through the quiet village of Helm Hollow. Though Veldalin, much like the rest of Argaria, does not see snow often, this year has been atypical. 1 week ago, clouds moved in and the flurries began, and now a thin sheet of white powder rests everywhere on the ground. The trees... it's a bunch of cocaine. The trees as well have frost and snow clinging to their bark and branches, and the chill wind is the only sound other than the tired crunch of horse hooves. A tall and straight-backed half-elf leads the column of 40 shivering soldiers, his helmet bearing a distinct red stripe, his signature, and unknowingly his downfall. This is Knight Sergeant Ritus Qualith, one of Lord General Valmark Renox's former squires and pupils. The only thing more famous than his swordsmanship is his arrogance. With a sneer, he turns to his soldiers, a collection of Veldalinian and Rothian, and raises his hand to indicate they should move a bit faster. Plumes of hot breath pepper the air above the riders' heads as they pick up speed in the trudge, trotting silently down the main road dividing the village. Qualith's second-in-command, another half-elf called Len, peers around at the empty buildings suspiciously. Only a villager or two had emerged at all since the soldiers had approached the gates, and Len thought this odd. However, the Knight Sergeant Ritas was notoriously unkind to his subordinates concerning cowardice, and so Len thought it better to keep it to himself. Behind him a few paces he hears the ragged breath of Grelch Sawtooth, the massive half-orc corporal with the gargantuan battle hammer. Grelch hated riding and lived for battle. The men feared him, and so he was a natural third in command for this outfit. The village is protected by a meager 20-foot wall, poorly thatched together from gnarled and twisted poles of timber, wrenched almost hastily from what appeared to be the thick forest they had passed not far from here. Len had been to Helm Hollow not 5 months ago. And he did not remember this wall being there then. He reflexively lays a firm hand on the axe, swaying at his hip. The train continues on, and soon they are within sight of the bridge leading out of the hamlet, crossing a narrow leg of the Phoenix River. The walls of the city frame the open gate unprotected as the snow blows through its arch and into the faces of the soldiers. Beyond is the empty expanse of the Atreus Plains, frozen and uninviting. "We will be to Roundfoot Town by nightfall," Qualith begins, turning to Len. "So make sure that the soldiers are..." As the two of them step past the last house along the road before the gate, there is a loud snapping sound. From the surrounding walls suddenly slides a thick barrier of logs and thorns, grinding along the earth behind Len, and towering above them at the height of 20 feet and separating them from the soldiers. Screams tear through the place as Len watches as Rothian soldier falls dead against the barrier and slides out of view. Then the sound of weapons being drawn as a fight breaks out on the other side.
So, this is the famed Ritus the Righteous we've heard so much about.
A tall, shockingly beautiful half-orc woman stands at the top of the wall above the gateway exit.
Oh, she's hot.
Her piercing blue eyes peer out from beneath the weathered and singed wolf head cowl she wears. The smooth blue skin of her face shifts into a cocky grin. Dyed yellow leather wraps her muscular form, and a silver breastplate protects her chest. A howling wolf engraved deeply into the metal. Her waist is wrapped by a stiff leather skirt. On her feet she wears a unique pair of leather sandals, painted wings emblazoned the heel in white. She points a crooked, brutal-looking black blade at Knight Sergeant Qualith. He stares, open-mouthed, at the woman and her multitude of companions standing stoic atop the gates in the frigid winds of winter. He's heard of this one. The one calling herself the Muscle Bard, Gorbel the Adorable.
I guess a cat's got your tongue?
Gorbel muses and gestures with the point of the cruel, jagged weapon.
If you come quietly, I can assure you, you'll only be taken prisoner. If you resist, well, what do you think, Pinwin?
She shrugs and turns to a chubby little red-headed halfling atop a massive black wolf. The curly-haired, azure-bespectacled warrior slides his index finger across his neck as if slitting it with a knife, his huge grin never faltering, and then adjusts the tri-pointed hat atop his head to keep it from slipping off.
Dead,
he says, puffing out his chest in his very fine and shimmering mithril shirt. On his legs are elegantly patterned, sequined blue pantaloons. As if in response to his statement, the wolf narrows his blue eyes and growls. Other figures become... That was a terrible growl.
I was clearing my throat.
Other figures become more clear to the Night Sergeant. A frowning, no-nonsense-looking human with a hard jaw and a bushy mustache has a bow drawn. He has the look of a soldier himself. Next to him, a pretty but severe-seeming woman with a long, blonde, pleated braid and one missing arm glares at him, her good hand wrapped around the pommel of a dagger. Standing on the other side of the half-orc woman, a comely half-elf warrior has a blade drawn, his eyes filled with the hard edge of a practiced veteran. His thick beard is coated with frost, but he is deathly still.
Is he a guy with a scar on his face?
Curling around his torso is a large snake, the head of which stares directly at him as if judging him seriously. The man bears a distinct scar on his forehead. Several more warriors glare in his direction, furs and fine steel juxtaposed one another. In fact, all of the fighters in his view appear as some strange amalgam of wild barbarian and skilled soldier. Not one to back down from a threat, Rytus draws his sword and leaps from his horse, but before he can even reach the ground, the red-haired halfling slides the bow from his shoulders and in a flash fires 2 arrows into the snow, right next to the half-elf's feet. The Night Sergeant pauses, the arrows quivering in the frozen earth, and looks at Len. The other sergeant quickly draws his axe, flipping it up, and makes to hurl the weapon at Gorbel, but the bard drops a knee down and shoots her arm out, flexing her bicep. Nope, she commands, and opens her fist. Len immediately drops the axe in the snow, his eyes shut, and he falls to the ground asleep. Pinwin levels another arrow at Qualis' chest, the bowstring taut, but doesn't fire. Rytas looks around him, his heart pounding in his chest as he hears the ebb of the fight on the other side of the wall. Then, with a crash, he sees a welcome sight. Grelch, his massive half-orc corporal, breaches the barrier, shoving his cumbersome form through a hole he seems to have smashed into it. With a thunderous stomp, Grelch, Sawtooth, leaps into action, his colossal battle hammer in his hand, his body pivoting as he prepares to hurl the heavy cudgel right at Pinwin. Crash! The door of one of the houses 20 feet away explodes outwards from its frame, and a silver form strikes like a bolt of lightning across the frosted ground. There's a flash and a sickening slurch as Grelch's 2 meaty arms fly through the air, still holding the hammer. They clatter with a juicy plop against the far wall. Ah! Grelch screams and collapses to the ground.
Oh, shit, baby!
A long spike pokes Rytus right underneath his chin, and the tall form of a helmeted human trains his halberd on his throat.
Have you met Zyko?
Gorbel asks.
You alright down there, buddy?
The once gangly and awkward teenager has filled out substantially, his long months of training with his polearm cultivating lean muscle. Wrapped in furs and leathers, he looks very much like the barbarian that trained him. Despite the cold, his feet are wrapped in the same style of sandal as Gorbel, his feet red and chapped. A goofy smile peers out from underneath the silver helmet, the same silver helmet that once belonged to a long-ago dragon-smashed member of the Crown's Guard. Yes, he says simply. Rytus gulps.
Now,
Says Pinwin, his eyes shifting to the dying noise behind the barrier.
are you ready to be friends?
Gorbel and Pinwin, after a whole day of riding, you encounter a welcome sight. The elevated haven of Wolves Rest. The town, once an abandoned and isolated respite pressed against the cliffs overlooking the expansive Dreywitch Loch, is now changed and bustling with life. Large parcels of land have been set aside for growing crops, though the fields are barren now, so long after harvest. Pinwin, you are reminded fondly of the bountiful feast you returned to some months ago, the fields full and fit to burst with different teeming specimen of delicious consumption. As your retinue of soldiers approaches the gates, you can see skeletons of new buildings being fabricated, laborers setting frames together, still trying to get work in before the dead of the season. As you move through the streets, you hear the toll of the bells of the newly renovated temple, marking the hour. That was accurate as fuck. Everywhere you look, the people of your town greet you and your return with cheers and shouts and waves. Once a disparate group of tribesmen, Vildalinian soldiers, and displaced vagabonds, all are now united in the same cause. Your people. You move along and see several soldiers take Raitas, Len, and a cluster of other captives towards the designated holding pen. The two of you crest the top of the hill at the apex of the main street, the massive shade gazer manor blocking out what would have been the morning sun were it not such a drizzly winter morning. Your eyes meet the horizon of the waterline far below the cliff you currently rest on. In the distance, you can see black rocky daggers, the lock's teeth, jutting out of the water and high above, stabbing at the sky. As you peer down at your hard work, you can see a small ship pulling into the freshly constructed harbor finished only a month ago. It looks like it's the first trade ship out of hopefully many. With a shout, the two of you see the squat and stocky form of Nugget, the clanless dwarf, appear and wave you over. "I just got the manifest of the passengers on that ship," he says, a twinkle in his eye. He hands Gorbel the rolled parchment and turns toward the docking vessel. "You're never gonna believe who's on board." As the gangplank rocks and squeaks at the strain of its ship, fighting the choppy winter lake waters, the haggard shape of Tomar Ironfist saunters into view. The shrouded dwarf, barely looking like a dwarf at all, seems almost a hollow specter of his former self. Where Tomar was once robust and healthy, he now looks languid and gaunt. While he once had a healthy, youthful complexion, the skin appears sallow and thin, where the butcher's armor hasn't fully concealed it. The Tomar you once knew had an eye for luxury, favoring more elegant finery, and had a long and elaborate beard. Now he wears a very mundane cloak of mottled gray with a hood pulled tightly around his head. His old armor is still intact, but its luster has been muted with dirt, blemishes, and extensive use, as if time itself has forgotten it. Tomar's face is the most unnerving feature of all. His cheeks are deep, sunken valleys that in the harsh winter light resemble a skull. His skin is dappled and lined with thin blue veins that are barely concealed under the surface. Wrinkles line his face, as if he'd aged several decades in only a year's time. Perhaps the most shocking, Tomar's long and luxurious beard is gone, and in its place is close-kept facial hair in the style of typical humans. The tufts of his auburn beard and sideburns have begun to fade, and pale, ghostly streaks of white have taken hold in many places. Stepping off the plank and onto the frost-coated wood of the pier, you can see now, Pinwin, that Tomar's eyes are completely obscured by curious-looking goggles. The silver frames are pulled tightly to his brow, and the lenses are shiny black pools that seem to shield him from light. The only thing that looks good as new is Steel Song, which he holds resting on his shoulder. The polished steel of the blade glints like mirrored glass and seems to radiate a dull glow even in the wan, gray light of the winter morning. In spite of all this, Tomar appears to smile at you two now with more than a hint of familiarity.
Hey, guys.
Tomar! You got goggles too! I mean, yours are different, but I mean...
Yeah, it's too bright for me. I'm still getting used to things.
Yeah.
So you peace out for over a year. You cut off all your hair. You look like shit. And then you come back on a boat? The man who hates water.
Well, I mean, I realize what I've done to you guys. It wasn't my choice. Neither was the boat. It was the fastest way. Though, since our long ride on the ocean before, I've seen enough stuff where the water isn't that big of a deal to me anymore. But still...
Well, that's a plus.
It's good to see you guys.
Well, goddammit, let's get you back into town and get you some ale and food.
That
maybe
sounds really good.
a deep conditioning treatment. Moisturizer. Something.
What the fuck is moisturizer?
Get that man a sandwich.
Feed that fucking bitch.
At that moment, you guys hear a loud clamoring and many voices screaming in anger and alarm.
Psycho dropped the pans
Oh,
again.
come
Goddamn it, Psycho.
Any reaction to that?
Is that normal?
Where's Psycho?
Not typically, no. Fuck was that?
Should we go?
I screamed to the
Check it out.
sky.
What was that?
As you race toward the gate, you can see two of the guards Elgin and Tamos, wrapped up completely by dense vines and thorns. They're screaming oaths and threats at a small humanoid form, completely surrounded by a contingent of your very own fighting men. Their weapons drawn, the group begins to close the circle as they have been trained, much like a pack of wolves in the wild. The figure in the center looks around, almost unconcerned, leaning his pudgy frame on a tall walking stick. A dwarf, you think, though his appearance makes it hard to guess at first. Under a canopy of knotted and ratty hair, a tangly gray beard spills out from beneath the hood of a ragged and baggy brown cloak. Getting closer, you can see twigs and bits of moss and grass jutting out of areas in the web of beard. Behind the shock of pewter facial hair is a set of blue eyes and a surprisingly young face. You get the impression that he might be much younger than he appears. Even with the approaching danger, the little dwarf reaches into his cloak and with a cough removes a long-necked pipe. He stuffs something in the bowl and ignites it, taking a long drag of a smoke and begins a slow ascent to the ground at an awkward angle, his hand searching behind him for the ground as he perches, hovering, seemingly more frightened of falling than of the soldiers in the ring around him. With a heaving and raspy sigh, he makes it to the ground, his legs splayed out in front of him. The soldiers stop and turn to you three, looking confused.
Make a hole, make a hole. Let me through.
The soldiers part.
I will follow.
I'm gonna stand back and watch stuff.
And who are you?
Hey. Nice to finally meet you guys. I've been looking for you for a while.
For us?
Yeah, you're the Wolves of Moonreach.
Yeah, who are you?
I'm her Stag Trialo.
Is that supposed to mean something to us?
No, I'm not famous at all. So I'm here to ask for your aid. I ran into some problems in Hart Valley. One of my friends was captured, and there's some evil afoot.
Wow.
He looks
I'm
serious.
confused. Why should we be helping you?
How do you know that we're here?
Oh, some guy in a inn told me to come here and ask for the Wolves of Moonreach. And I'd heard about you guys before. And I was trying to track you down, but I got a little sidetracked. There's a lot of stuff going on.
If people know where we are, that's bad. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but we're all wanted fugitives from...
Now, I don't remember exactly who it was. What his name was, but it could have been a place that you guys have been to before. Like maybe it's a friend of yours.
Where were you?
Look here.
Let me check my PDA. A druid with like
My pit boy.
Is it like Arrowhead or something?
The Arrowview Inn.
The Arrowview Inn.
And you guys know that the Arrowview Inn is the tavern where Jan, his wife, and his son Jan occupy, and it's about a half a day's journey from here. It's where you guys met Mirluck. And you might also remember when he says Hart Valley, you guys have definitely been there before, as that's where the heist took place.
Yeah, I did my sex upon a lady there.
You did do your sex.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
I don't know about going back there. But what's going on? Why do you need help?
There's some weird shit going on there. We tried to get out of there fast, me and my friend Cyan. But we made a run for it, but he got nabbed up as we were trying to get away. But I have a feeling that people are possessed there or something. I don't know what's going on.
We've seen that before.
I feel like I've had my fill of possessed people.
Well, do you want to just let it be then?
We don't know you. Like, we're not familiar with you at all.
Well,
He's still sitting on the ground, by the way.
What is in it for us?
I mean, I didn't make up a plan or anything to convince you guys. I just figured I'd come here and ask, because I heard you were heroes.
And
Figured
because we're
helping people and saving people is kind of like a...
And because we're known as such
heroic
nice
type
guys.
thing. I don't know. I mean, I just figured
Can we, like...
I hoped maybe heroes would be heroes.
Can we, like, keep him somewhere for now until we've questioned him a little more?
I mean, take him to the pen.
Oh, all these vines and stuff, they're not hurting your guards, by the way. It's just,
As he says that, you can see Elgin and Tamos like struggling still to get out of these vines. They're tangled and they're like, just let us go. We don't like the big plants.
I'm sorry, that's a permanent change to the landscape there.
You can't let them free?
No. I mean, I could if I had some rest. I've got another spell, but I don't have it ready.
So you're already pooped. You won't be of much help.
I don't have that spell ready.
Take him to the pen.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So far you seem like more of a threat than anything.
Several of the guards move near you, her Stag, and go to grab you.
I will drop my staff, put my hands up in the air.
They look a little...
He's doing a spell!
I'm not doing a spell! I surrender.
They very cautiously grab your wrists and lift you up from the ground.
But do try to make it quick, because my friend, I don't know what's happening to him. They could be doing some weird rituals or something to him.
They take you away and they lead you down the road a little ways into a large building that has been set up as a holding pen, and they put you in your own little chamber. You can hear off in the distance there are arguing and loud voices from what sounds like other people that have been taken against their will.
Is there a window?
There is. There's a small arrow slit window in the little chamber that you're in.
What about the is it like a barred cell?
Oh, there are bars on the cell, yes, and there is a small stone bench along the wall and a little scrap of fabric that could be used for maybe a blanket.
Okay.
That's as well as we treat our prisoners.
Hey, that's a lot better than we used to treat them.
I'll just
Yeah, used to cut them in half.
I'll just cooperate. Maybe lay down. I've had a long journey and just use the little shitty blanket.
All right, so he's going to lay down and go without a fight, and you guys see that he just relinquishes his everything and goes along with it.
Well, that was weird.
So,
Was he on the boat with you?
no, you didn't see, he showed up at the gate.
Yeah, he came through the front door.
I get all turned around here still. Built myself a maze of a town.
Well, it does look a lot different, not gonna lie. It looks like you guys have done quite a bit. How did you afford to upgrade all this stuff?
I may have used some of our money.
What money?
The gold.
What
The
gold?
chest of gold.
How much gold was in there?
Oh, like 500 gold.
That doesn't seem like enough to cover it.
Fucking fine. 100,000.
Damn. So you guys have just been improving this town? Like what?
Yeah.
Anything else? Have you been doing anything?
We've been going out on missions and patrolling the area.
Okay, well,
But-
I'm assuming you have a bar, right?
Of course, but I think we have something that you're going to like even more. Follow me.
Prove it.
She takes you down the main strip here into the open marketplace area, and this has definitely been changed from how you previously remember it, Tomar. Before, it was dilapidated buildings and with moss and vines growing all over everything, and only half of them were even able to have a roof on them. Now, it seems a lot of work's been done. There's been repairs. Everything is looking like a combination of old and new. A lot of old stonework that has been patched up with new stonework, and very healthy, well-made roofs covering everything, and it's quite quaint, in fact. But Gorbel leads you over to I'm imagining, the temple.
Yes.
If you remember, this temple is where you acquired the butcher's armor, from the ghost of the butcher's wife. Now, it has been completely revamped, and you can see several different gray-robed acolytes walking around the outside. the newest feature on this beautifully crafted temple is a flaming hammer symbol on the outside.
Now, when these religious nuts came up, like, last year sometime, I kind of wanted to turn them away, but they kept talking about you and wanting to build a temple, and I thought this would be a great thing for you to come back to.
Well, I mean, if you remember, we were kind of unsure how Warkrag might have been involved with what was going on.
She knows. She's in character.
I know.
Oh, okay.
But there is a lot of stuff that I've learned over time about Warkrag, and we have a lot.
Good stuff, though?
Yes.
Good stuff?
Yeah.
So, good? This is good?
Probably. I haven't felt the divine touch in a long time.
Okay.
You and me both, brother. The bad touch.
We don't need to hear about that. There are plenty of women around here. Go to the tavern later and deal with that. For right now, though, what do you think?
I mean, this'll do. I'll check it out later, but for now, I wanna relax. I wanna spend some time with you guys and catch up.
Okay. The old Tomar would have wanted to sit down and pray or something stupid.
Well, now I'm the new old Tomar, and
For you listeners, Tomar was formerly a cleric of the Forge.
Who
But
drank
has-
warm milk.
Who drank warm
that's
milk.
still accurate.
Some things don't change. I put one of my maps in a spot so that I'd remember where it
And
was.
he
and now
once
I can't.
betted a woman to get her keys.
All right, so
In Hart Valley.
what's the plan? What do you guys want to do?
I say we go get a drink and then talk about our new friend.
Yeah, let's go catch up.
So
Alright.
you all turn around, and across the market, directly across from the temple,
Oh, that's convenient.
is the tavern. And in a very swoopy font above, it says
Busty Belba's booze
and revelry
revels.
and revels in a nice shiny font hand painted above the door. There are a few soldiers and laborers walking around near and going in and coming out of the place. It seems to be a pretty happening joint. It sounds like a
raucous
noise, even for the morning, is going on in there.
Where'd you go?
Where did you go?
Go.
Busty Billows. And Tomar, one of the things you do notice is that everyone who seems to be of the martial sort in this place has a distinct look about them. It seems as though the barbarians that were left and the soldiers that were left sort of intermixed in the last year or so and have now sort of developed their own style of dress, kind of a combination of both furs, leathers, and very finely made steel. All right, so you guys enter the tavern. Pinwin, this is your domain, and I don't know if you want to say anything as you enter, but you notice behind the bar, very sourly, Janus is serving a mug, but when he sees you enter, his frown becomes like a slightly pulled smirk, as if he's trying really hard to look friendly and happy, and he nods to you, Pinwin, as you enter, and he raises a mug up in the air to signify that he sees you and that he's doing a good job.
Janus, you're doing so good. Oh my goodness, look at that. You even raised your glass. Oh, you're doing so good. So proud of you.
He doesn't say much, but he nods, and
He seems a lot less surly than he used to.
I'm really working on hospitality amongst the employees. You know, they got it in them. He's a peach. You never knew.
Right. Well, I need food. It's been a long time since I had a good meal.
All right. Janus, can you just get a bunch of food for a friend here tomorrow?
do you have any preferences to what you'd like, or is it just Janus, go grab a bunch of stuff?
Janus, let's try that again. A little more friendly, please.
At your service, I guess. I'll be right back.
Oh, so good. Good job.
And he walks away from the counter
He's a peach.
and goes in the back. And as he pushes the door open in the back, Tomar, you can see Belba, Busty Belba, working at a medium pace at a full-range stove in the back. And then as the door closes, she disappears from view.
How dark is it in the bar?
It's pretty well lit, actually. Pinwin likes to keep everybody visible.
All right, well, I'll keep my goggles on for now, then. Where do you like to sit?
Anywhere?
All right, I sit at a table.
There's one or two tables that aren't currently occupied. The soldiers and townsfolk seem relatively into their own conversations, so they're not paying too much attention to you. They do lift their mugs, though, as Pinwin and Gorbel enter, like, hey!
Yeah, people!
Janus, we need a few ales.
Janus is still in the kitchen.
Janus!
My God, man!
He sticks his head out. What?
Ales!
All right. He moves behind the bar. You hear like the. How many?
3?
Yeah,
3. Where's
lots.
Durant?
Durant. You know, he must have split off from you guys as you entered.
Oh, whatever. We'll
That
catch up with him
Jerry's
later.
so secretive.
He brings out 3 mugs and sets them down. The food will be ready shortly.
Hey, Janus.
Yes.
Where is Let? Have you seen him?
I would guess he's down in that laboratory. I don't know for sure.
Go down there and tell him to send up a bottle of his special.
All right, I'll be right back.
Janus,
Who's
I
gonna watch the
appreciate
bar
you.
while I go do this very important errand that I'm very happy about doing?
Ah, that's the spirit.
We've got it.
All right. He like just slowly walks out and pushes his way through the door.
See, it's a peach.
So it's been, I don't know, like over a year from what it sounds like when I've been talking to people. What's new? What have you been doing?
You're looking at it.
So,
We've spent the year rebuilding this town, creating housing, growing crops, livestock.
Learning spells, and my dad died, and you
Your
know.
dad
the
died?
usual- Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I wasn't going to bring that up. Thought this
It
was
was
going to
gonna
be happy.
come out.
Pinwin.
You know, yeah.
How did he die?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was a sick guy. He wasn't doing well. That's why I went home to Shade Home, because I got that letter saying he wasn't doing well. I didn't know it was that not well. So that was tough for sure. But
What about your other family?
they're doing great. Osmo and Barley, you know, my brothers. They're just, you know.
They didn't like your dad very much.
Well, I mean, aside from, yeah. I mean, it was good and bad, you know, bits of both. That part was really sad, but it was good to see all of them, you know? And then, yeah.
What made you come back?
Well, why wouldn't I come back?
Because
I
we're
love
fugitives.
you guys. Oh, well, I have a way of combating it. It's fine. I've gotten along really good.
How much do you guys know about what's going on outside of here?
I know some people don't like us that much, so yeah.
So, Veldunalin and Rothi have been having skirmishes now. The truce seems to be going away a little bit. Also, they're trying to betroth the king to somebody. Have you heard of that?
No?
Largely ignored over here in your section of the world. Some of the goings on in the Crown and Deepminster itself aren't exactly first priority for you guys. You've been more familiar with movement in the area, and from what you guys have seen, has been a lot of cooperation between Rothian and Veldalinian soldiers.
Yeah, I'm not completely familiar with these skirmishes.
What do you mean?
We've been getting along pretty well.
Yep.
We haven't had any run-ins.
I heard different. I also heard that the Wolves of Moonreach have been sieging things, raiding across the land. I actually heard that Smoozog was raiding with his clan, like to the northeast. Do you know anything about? Is he here or?
No. He hasn't been here for the past year.
Really?
No. He left a long time ago.
Wow.
Why would Smoochy go raiding?
That's a good question.
He claimed before he left that he was going to go keep the villain soldiers busy to keep them off your guys' backs.
It could be that somebody... Have you guys been raiding anywhere? Somebody could be posing as the wolves.
I mean, yeah. Not like in a malicious way.
In a friendly
So
way.
a light, friendly raiding?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Where is Janus with those drinks?
He already set the drinks down. Remember, he brought him over and then you sent him off?
I meant the drinks from Let.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, he hasn't arrived yet.
Do you remember Let?
Yeah.
The annoying Rothian guy?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, wait till you taste what he's been brewing.
And at that moment, Janus returns to the tavern holding a big vial of a very murky brown liquid, almost filled to the top. He sets it down on the table, and he takes a tentative step back from the table, as if expecting it to explode. This is it.
Why don't you get us a few glasses?
He marches over to the...
enthusiasm.
He marches over to the counter and takes a few mugs and brings them back over to you guys, and once again steps back.
Thank you, sir.
Without pause, I down the whole thing.
You notice that this is one of the most disgusting things you have ever tasted in your life.
I hold my unlit match and say I was going to do a trick.
Should have said something.
I'm going to have you roll Constitution at a disadvantage. A Constitution save, sorry.
10?
10? You are almost immediately overwhelmed by a dizziness and alcoholic stupor. You feel very, very buzzed right now.
Wait, actually, it's 13.
I'll say it's slightly less than what I described it, but it's still, it immediately overwhelms you.
What is that?
I'm actually not really sure. I just kind of gave Let free reign, but it's strong as hell, right?
Was it... He was just a potion peddler. He wasn't like an alchemist. You just let a random dude...
Well, it was kind of slim pickings around here, Tomar. So we took the potions he had, and he tried to pick them apart and come up with something.
What about the Chaos Company? Are they here?
They're not.
Where'd they go?
They said they had their own business.
When did they leave?
They left. They never came down to a Wolves Rest with you guys. They left from the battle. They went north. Rumor has it, from the messages that Vocha has been sending you, if you'll recall, they have taken up a very clandestine operation in Starhost.
Word has it they're in Starhost.
Starhost.
It's a little on the hush-hush, though.
Then they're in danger.
Why?
Because there's a dragon there. It's holed up and made it its home. The crown is offering a lot of gold to get rid of it.
Do you think maybe that's why they're there, or...
I don't know why they'd be there, but...
What if it's their friend? What if it's their ally? You never know, right?
I think we probably have a pretty good hunch that they're not buddies with the dragon pinwin.
I know, but one day we're gonna have a buddy dragon, right?
Always the optimist.
Maybe. Not
happen.
today.
Pinwin, do you still have the hammer that I left?
Yeah, this thing.
You're just holding on. Here, give it here.
He's been hoping you would come back.
For a solid year in his backpack.
Didn't have a chest in your room. Just plop it in.
I'll allow it. Pinwin removes from his back the massive form of Karag's Fury, your old weapon.
How do you hold this up?
I got much bigger arms than you. Even though they look much more lean than they did before. I'm gonna hang it to my side. Do you guys have any questions?
A couple. First of all, how dare you? And second of all, where the fuck were you?
Where's the food? That's what I want to know. I need to get some warm food in me.
Okay, it's a bit of a make-from-scratch kitchen here, Telmar, so you're gonna have to be a little bit patient.
You don't know what I've had to eat over the year, but it hasn't been good. What was your question again, other than you being clearly mad that I was gone?
Where were you?
Do you remember the ruby that Mandarin had sent us?
Yeah.
Well, I used it that night, and it opened up a portal into the ethereal plane.
Used it how?
I touched it, and stuff happened. I don't know how it worked, but it opened.
We've all been there.
Well, thank you for leaving a letter, so we kind of had an idea where you, that you didn't get kidnapped.
I didn't know it would take as long as it did.
So what have you been doing?
I know that goes.
It's a really long story, but I was trapped there for pretty much this whole time. The gate behind me closed and the ruby stopped working, so I had to find my way out.
How did you get back?
Well, that's weird in itself, because there was a rift, an unnatural rift that was open. The long and short of it was, I met a very evil entity. It called itself the Great Adversary, and it forced me to work for it. And for a long time...
In the ethereal plane?
Yeah, that's
so
where it's from.
So we were evil in
Work
the
how?
ethereal plane.
The ethereal plane works differently. Like, there's hierarchy of spirits, and there's lost souls that wander the ethereal plane. And the larger beings there, they need to feed on their energy to live. So he essentially had me hunt them down for him.
8 people.
Well, there isn't a lot to eat in the ethereal plane.
People? Tomar.
It's not like, it's not eating. Sustenance is different.
Yeah, we'll get you different food, new diet, new Tomar.
Janus shuffles over. Yes.
The fuck is that food?
Please.
I don't know. Boss, why didn't you ask Belva?
Let's get some
Okay,
appetizers for the table. Maybe
I'll
some
go ask-
vegetables.
I'll go ask
something.
Belba. I'll be back.
Pinwin runs back into the kitchen.
Belba, my dear.
You just see her very slowly stirring food in a cast iron skillet on the open range. She turns and looks at you. Yeah?
I maybe would have chosen a different greeting, but okay. Hi, Belba. You're doing great, but is there any way you can go a little bit faster? Tomar's been eating people. Please.
Did I hear him?
No, you can't hear this. This is an insulated kitchen area. Belba turns and shrugs. Well, I was going to finish everything at once, but there's a plate of sausages right there that are done. So if you want to take that out to him, go ahead.
Okay, thank
I
you.
mean,
Ignoring the people thing.
nonplussed as always, she points to the plate of
Belba's
sausages.
seen
So,
some shit.
Belba's, I love that there's sausages here, but can you try again, please, with that business, hospitality that we've got?
There's fucking sausages over there, Pinwin.
Okay, we're gonna keep working on it. You got this. You're such a wonderful person. Thank you, Belba. I'm gonna take the sausages. Okay, good work. Keep going. You got this.
So do you want the rest, or...?
Yeah, definitely. But we'll eat the sausages for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. She muffles. Muffles.
And I'm gonna skip back with the sausages.
You guys see Pinwin return to the table with a plate full of sausages.
Oh, yeah.
Way better than people, right?
Can you not say that to everyone?
You're
and
noticing
very
that some
loudly?
people at the other tables are looking over their shoulder kind of suspiciously at you guys.
Yeah,
now.
maybe we just keep that kind of between us.
I'm just kidding. It's an inside joke. It's fine.
That seems to satisfy them. They turn back to their food and drink and their chatter.
That's not the only thing, though. I wasn't the only one.
What else did you eat?
This wasn't the only sausage I had. No, there were others like me that were bound to his service. And, I'm not sure. So I fought the great adversary to get out.
Oh.
But
Did it work? Well, you're out.
I'm out.
But
But I'm
did he
fairly
die?
certain. Well, it's a long story. Like, sometimes I hear him talking to me.
Oh.
Like his presence. I feel it frequently. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not dead. And I'm pretty sure he had a lot to do with all the dark shit that was going on with the chaos and the sieges and maybe Calcifer. He might even be Calcifer. He didn't tell me his name, but Warkrag, I was wrong about him.
Which time?
The time when I decided that he was bad. Like, I let everyone get to me, and I was wrong. Warkrag's been trapped.
Janus?
Janus comes from around the counter. Yes?
So, I may have told those religious people out there to start taking the temple down. Maybe you should go tell them to just leave it. Leave it.
He looks very confused.
Warcrag is good.
All right. He shuffles out the door again.
For now, though, like, a temple to him isn't going to do any good. Like, he can't reach anyone where he is. We need to free him. Like, I was losing power because he was trapped. He's trapped just like the adversary is. He wants to be freed. Like, the adversary wants to become part of the material plane, and we have to stop him. But there's a chance that he knows exactly where I am because his consciousness is inside of me. So, I'm sorry, but you're probably in danger, too. Like, he might send his agents after me. The thing about...
I mean, we've been in danger before.
You haven't fought these things, Pinwin.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
not the same
Yeah.
as mortal men, and they feed on souls. So, like, if you die by them, there's a good chance that they'll just absorb your soul, and you can't go into the afterlife.
Okay, that's heavy.
It's bad stuff. I'm telling you, it's not good there. But
How do we fight ethereal things? Man, we
We have a lot on our plate
Yes, we
right now.
do.
Okay,
Now we've got a town
so
fighting the ethereal plane patties, and
Tomar's
What else? I
tethered
don't
to
the great adversary.
the great adversary. Do we have to call him that?
I mean, that's what he called himself.
we could
GA?
call him the GA. Yeah,
He kind of had
Yeah.
indistinguishable features, so he's bad. He's a bad guy. You can call him whatever you want, but he will likely send his agents after us. The portal that I exited was unnatural. It's...
I just try to quietly drink soda.
Oh, I was laughing at the unnatural portal.
Oh. There's a lot of things.
It's really weird. There's some weird stuff going on to the north of here.
yeah.
But I wasn't able to close the portal, so other stuff may have bled through.
So how long do you think we have before we're pretty much all dead and eating souls, Tomar?
I have no idea. I might have stopped his plans for now, but I think we need to free Worker Egg, because as far as I could tell, he was a big obstacle for the Great Adversary. And him being locked up will prevent him from helping. I have no divine power now. Like, I can't wield that. I can't heal anybody. So, we might be shit out of luck if somebody gets injured.
What?
Yeah, it's gone. I can't
All
do
of it?
I have some small magic ability left, but that was just from study. Like, I had already learned it on my own, but I can't heal anybody.
Tomar.
Man, I didn't choose to not be divine anymore.
You just had to go and fondle rubies, didn't ya?
Well, I trusted Mandorin, and I went to look for him in Deepminster, which... Don't go to Deepminster, by the way.
Why?
Because we're wanted there.
Pinwin
and
looks a little at the ceiling, looking around a little
What did you
awkwardly.
do? Did you go to Deepminster?
Maybe have gone to Deepminster and started a performing crew with some people,
What?
and it went bad.
Explain.
So, okay, I get to Deepminster because that really cool performance we saw, I really wanted to see them, and I wanted to find Mandorin, obviously. But, so, yeah, went to Deepminster, and I found these people who were they were kind of up-and-coming performers. They weren't well known around crowds yet, so they just needed a little spice. So spiced them up, and we did some performances about Wolves of Moonreach. Oh, yeah.
Pinwin.
So,
And you haven't mentioned this since you've been back.
I mean, we've been kind of busy. And
Yeah, but maybe not too busy to mention that you may have outed us.
I mean, I didn't tell them where we were. It was a
Did you dance where we were?
No, I didn't. Just a little tidbits of our adventures and like the dragons and the random encounters and yeah. But so yeah, ended up really good success story for a while, and then some soldiers found us, and then I don't know what happened to my friends.
Awesome. How did you get out?
Luck. But I'm here.
You don't think they might have squealed as to where we are?
They didn't know. We weren't there. We were in Deepminster. I just was like, "Hi, I'm Pinwin. Can I join your crew?" And they're like, "I guess." And then it just all erupted, and it was wonderful for a little while. You should have seen it. We were super popular for a bit. I felt really proud.
There's a spire there. They were building a spire when we were there last, but the Inquisition, I think, built it. And the guy that was leading the Inquisition before, what was his name? Do you remember? He's dead. And they're the guy on the council, and I think they're going to appoint somebody else.
That old douche?
Yeah, that old douche.
I mean, he's dead?
Yeah.
Good.
But Romar can't be trusted. He might be an agent for the Great Adversary. And he might be leading the Inquisition now, I'm not sure.
Fantastic.
Anyway.
Heavy.
Yeah, it's not good.
So
We need food.
who else
there more
has been
food? Janice?
revealing our location?
Just goes and checks in the back, and he
Tomar, you're
puts his head
telling
back out, shakes it.
Okay, I'm gonna
ethereal
go
plane
skip over to
Satan
Belva
where we
again.
are. Pinwin's out there in Deepminster telling the whole fucking city where we're at.
Just our adventures, not where we are.
Well, it
just
might be
what we
best
did.
to take on different names and not go by the Wolves of Moonreach if possible. Like, I haven't been telling anyone my name is Tomar Ironfist when I meet them.
Yeah, so good news in Deepminster. I have a new persona. It's really good. New one for Shadow, too. Really good.
Alright. First things first. We need to...
Food.
Well, we already have the sausages. I'm feeling okay. We might need to talk to
We need more food.
the new guy.
Yeah, how did the dwarf find out where we are?
We gotta ask him.
So we don't need more food?
He doesn't seem dangerous necessarily, but we
Well,
need to
he took
find out.
down 2 of our guards.
We need to find out more about him. Like, I feel like if he was directly trying to harm us, then he would have.
Okay.
Tomar, are you feeling up to an interrogation?
I am. Let's do it. Bad
I
cop.
mean,
You seem a little loopy.
Oh, yeah.
At the very least, I can observe him to see if he's lying. But if you guys want to question him, I can watch and protect you if need be.
All right, Pinwin.
Yep.
Good cop, bad cop.
Of course.
All right.
All right, so you guys stand up, finish your drinks. All right, so you guys, the 3 of you make your way to the holding pen. You 2 pass the guards, and they step aside to let you in. And Stag, you see the door open, and your little cell there is right next to the door, and you see the 3 of them enter in this dimly lit chamber.
It's dimly lit.
The whole of the place is dimly lit. There's one torch on a sconce next to the door, but other than that, maybe on the far end of the hallway, there's another torch. But yeah, it's pretty dim in there.
So there's a hallway and there's cells, right?
Yes.
And I'm in one of the cells.
The one closest to the door. You guys see him as you enter to the left. He's in the leftmost cell.
So since it's dark in here, I'm going to pull my goggles off and put them on my forehead. And you see, my eyes used to be like a hazel color, but now they're like a very pale amber color instead. And the pupils are like small.
He looks hot.
Good as fuck.
Do we have an interrogation room?
Yeah, down at the end, there's an empty cell that you guys have used in the past.
Pinwin, do you think I would have forgotten about an interrogation room? It's right next to the torture room.
Send him to the tickle chamber!
Tickle chamber, what the hell's that?
So you guys see you see them enter, and what are you doing in the cell?
I will just stand there, kind of by the bars, just looking nonchalantly, arms crossed.
Is
waiting
his
for him to
staff
come up
still
and
in
talk.
there? or
No,
did
he
somebody
dropped
take
his
it?
staff on the ground. It's probably somewhere in this building, but
Is there a guard?
there was one outside, and you can see one down at the end of the hall, but there's nobody immediately outside of this cell.
I'm going to call out to the guard. Hey,
A half-orc gentleman walks down very cautiously. Yes.
where's this mage's weapon?
It's over there. You want me to go get it?
Yeah, bring it here, please.
Okay, be right back. And he shuffles off, returns a few moments later, carrying a big staff.
All right, I'm going to grab it.
All right.
And what does it look like?
It's just like a twisted wooden staff.
Doesn't really look like much.
It looks like some of the, like there were branches kind of twisted, kind of like a rope. So it's like made of several branches. It's not just one branch.
Is this how you channel your magic?
Yeah, that's my focus.
Wait until we get to the interrogation room.
Sorry.
Are you guys interrogating me?
Yep.
We're not interrogating you. We're just asking a few questions.
Okay, ask away.
To the interrogation room.
Why don't you just follow us to
To
somewhere
the
a little bit
question
more
room.
comfortable?
All right. So you
The tickle chamber?
either of you two would have the keys to this place.
You would be so lucky.
I don't like being tickled.
So you unlock the door, Gorbel, and the door springs open for you.
Nice.
You just gonna follow them, or what are you gonna do?
I'll follow him.
Okay. So you lead him down into the interrogation room, which is an empty cell with it's a non-barred door. It's actually got a wooden and steel door, and inside it's completely featureless except a chair in the center of the room. There is in the very back a thin arrow slit window.
Is there a table?
There is no table. Damn. Just a chair. And there's some straps on the chair.
How wide is the window?
Maybe 2 inches wide.
Okay.
Have a seat.
I shall.
He sits down in the chair.
We're
Now,
going to have to bind you up here.
Tell me what you know.
Why do you have to bind me?
We don't need to start off that
I don't even have my
strong.
staff.
I don't know what kind of magic you
How
do.
about you just take a seat for right now?
Well, I'm sitting.
And remind me of your name?
I'm Hearse Stag Tree Hollow.
Tree what?
Tree Hollow.
Where do you get a name like that?
Pinwin leans down and is screaming in your face very aggressively.
My dad gave it to me.
Your dad gave it to you.
A likely story. How convenient.
You don't look like most dwarves I've seen. Where are you from?
I'm from the woods.
The woods.
The woods? What kind of a thing is that? What's the woods?
Pinwin's still in
From
your
the
face,
woods.
screaming.
Have you all heard of the Midland Wilds?
You guys have. Those are the wilds very near where you grew up in Moonreach.
Maybe.
Except for you, Pinwin.
You might not know.
So the maybe's true.
We're familiar. We're familiar.
I grew up there.
How old are you?
Okay, we're from the same area.
Yeah, I know. That's why I came looking for you.
How long have you been following us?
A while. Since I left. Well, a while. I got sidetracked, like I said. I've been sensing some evil in the land.
How do you just sense evil?
Can I
Pinwin
tell?
says, leaning
one of-
forward again.
Can I
One
tell
of
if
my
he's telling the
talents.
truth?
Insight check.
Notice I am not rolling deception.
I'm looking at him like weird.
You can also roll insight if you'd like, Pinwin.
Sure.
Or you can roll to intimidate if that's your preferred method.
Where
Okay.
the fuck is?
What do I have to roll to resist the intimidation?
It'll just be
Penguin learned to be aggressive. Who knew?
22.
as far as you can tell, he is telling the God's honest truth.
Also 22.
All right, so this little guy is a little intimidating, but not anything you haven't encountered before. Seems like his first foray into being intimidating, and he seems a little like he's got a screw loose, maybe.
Could you
So,
kind of
Herstag-
just take it easy there, okay? You're scaring me a little bit.
I need answers.
Well,
need them.
ask me questions and I'll give you answers.
Okay, so woods guy from the woods following us. Why?
Well, I've been looking for some people to travel with. I heard that you guys were heroes and you're fighting the Rothians.
Well, you were already traveling with someone.
I was in the meantime until I caught up with you guys. You guys have been around so much. It's been hard to keep up.
Who is your friend?
Penguin, dial it back.
Screaming into his face once again.
Maybe let Gorbel talk to him for a minute.
Herstag,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about why you think we need to be helping you get your friend back.
Well, like I said, I've been sensing evil in the land.
What does that mean? You're sensing evil.
I can reach out. I'm a druid.
I don't know what that means.
You ever heard of a druid?
Sounds dirty.
Druid.
Well, I'm
And not the good kind.
A nature mage.
Dirty
This is
kind.
a simple way to describe it. But I have a very good connection with nature, and I can reach out and feel through the land if there are any disturbances.
Well, we can feel if you're full of shit.
Am I?
Pinwin looks questioningly at Tomar.
Figuring it out.
He doesn't. He seems to be on the up and up so far.
Let's
you.
let him talk.
Okay.
Well, I think that you guys would be interested in taking care of this because it could threaten the entire land. Now, this Rothian thing, I think that it might have something to do with this evil that I've been sensing.
I pull Gorbel aside.
All right. Sidebar.
What do you gather from this?
This could be the Great Adversary's work.
Working through him?
No, Hart Valley. We might need to make sure whatever's there is dealt with in case.
Well, that's kind of a relief, because then it's
Pinwin
just one enemy.
sits up between you guys at this point. Not notice Pinwin, but he slowly peeks his head up between you guys as two whispering heads.
Because I was kind of worried this was going to be a whole other enemy guy, but if it's the same one, that's kind of good, right?
I mean, I think we at least need to find out what it is.
I mean, yeah.
You know, I feel like a lot
For
is
Stag,
being
you just see the
thrown at
three
me
of
today.
them all.
Are they
We keep
behind me
looking
or
at-
in front of me?
They're ahead of you.
We
in
keep
front of
turning
you.
and looking at you and then going back to...
I'm looking back really mean.
Just judging you.
Her Stag, where did you say your friend is? Blue or whatever the hell his name is?
Oh, Cyan. I just met him on the road not that long ago. While we were traveling together, he seemed like a nice guy. And he got snatched up in that town that we were visiting.
And
We were just kind of passing through.
you trust this man?
I mean, I
You
didn't...
trust him enough to risk our lives for him?
Well, I'm not necessarily asking you to go save him. I mean, I need help to save him. That's a kind of a, it's... The main focus should be to take care of whatever's happening in this town, because these people, they weren't regular.
What do you mean?
They were acting crazed. The whole town was chasing us.
Does that sound familiar to us? Have we seen something similar to that?
If you'll recall, there was a it sounds a bit like a feverish, cultish type situation. It doesn't sound like when you guys were last in Hart Valley. So something definitely has changed there.
I mean, we didn't do anything to there's no reason that they should have charged us like that. And they definitely took Cyan. And they dragged him off, and I barely escaped.
Who's in charge of the town now?
I don't know, we'd just gotten there.
Did you see Rothians?
Did I see Rothians?
You don't know for sure. That you weren't there very long. The people there, when they came after you, they seemed like the people dressed fairly normally, not soldiers of any kind, but yeah.
When we didn't exactly leave Hart Valley in a good state politically or economically. Shit.
You guys been to Hart Valley?
I mean, so far, this is pretty much the only town we haven't destroyed.
Yeah, but I mean,
Did you just leave it?
the people in charge of the town were certainly much worse for wear.
What happened there? What did you guys do?
I don't think you need to know the details. Suffice to say that
Well, you're asking me details.
Yeah, this is...
you showed up
Shit
to
that I can't remember.
You showed up to our town asking for help. Whoever, there was a baron or something. I don't know, a mayor or something like that. But he had a deal going on with Rothia, and we stopped them quite efficiently. Like a period on the end of a sentence. He's not around anymore.
I don't know if that would have had anything to do with what's happening there now.
That might have allowed something evil to take up house there or something.
Y'all have been busy. You've been all across the land.
I love your character's voice, Elijah.
How do you know this about us?
Well, I've been looking for you.
We haven't seen you around.
What do you know about Moonreach and how it was destroyed?
That brings up some bad memories.
Yeah, well, we were there.
Well, I'm trying to earn you guys' trust in me. I guess. So I was raised in the Midland Wilds when the Rothians attacked Moonreach. That's when my dad died. I was studying under Galode.
What?
Galode.
What's a galog?
Pinwin says, screaming into your face again.
Galode. With a D. H. Galode the fox tongue. She was a druid. She welcomed me into her circle.
But you weren't from there originally.
I don't know where I was from originally.
How do you not know where you were from?
Well,
Well, you're a dwarf. Most dwarves don't just live in the forest.
that's true. I did find out how rare my circumstances were once I started traveling around.
Tree Hollow isn't a clan name. It's very undwarven.
Well, I was hoping to make it a clan name.
Oh, you just pulled that out of a hat, basically?
No, my dad named me that. He found me in a tree.
In a tree?
I was inside of a tree.
Oh.
That staff that you're holding there, that's part of
How?
that tree. It offered the staff to me.
This may not be relevant, but how were you in a tree?
How were you in the tree?
First memory I have. You guys just bring up my whole life. Just tell my whole life
Like
story.
you were birthed from a tree, or
No.
someone carved out a tree and stuck a baby
First
in?
memory I have is crawling through the forest. I was lost, and sounded like some type of voice. Something was calling to me through the forest, and I eventually I followed the sound, and I happened upon this tree, and it was the tree was talking to me.
I mean, I've heard weirder.
And
Mugging him.
I mean,
the hump or the trunk was hollow, and it invited me to stay inside of it, like it was trying to protect me.
Okay.
And then my dad came along, and the tree trusted him to take care of me.
Your
The
dad-
tree's name is Leathandria. I don't know if you guys have heard that before.
no.
No.
Oh.
Your dad
I haven't met too many trees.
was your dad was your dad the dwarf? Was he a dwarf?
No, he was a satyr.
The hell? What is this satyr?
Can they roll for like intelligence?
Yeah, you could do an Arcana check.
An Arcana check?
Yeah, for magical
That's a pretty good roll.
creatures.
18.
13.
7.
All right, so Pinwin, you
Oh, and it makes sense that Pinwin would have encountered him before.
yeah, Pinwin, you have met some creatures matching the description of a satyr, calling themselves a satyr. It's an upright, cloven-hoofed creature that uses fey magic.
Goat on the bottom, human on the top, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Tumnus from
Yeah.
Chronicles
I
of
love
Narnia.
him.
So do you need me to describe a satyr to you?
No.
Can somebody
You
describe
know what a
satyr?
satyr is?
Yeah. It's, I'm going to just repeat what he
What he said.
It's basically an upright goat man.
Ew.
Your dad is a goat person.
He was a goat person. He's dead now.
Right.
Why are you not a goat person?
I wasn't. He's not my biological dad.
He was a found baby, Pinwin. Oh.
Keep up. He adopted
So-
me from my tree hole.
So, do you have a mother besides
No.
the tree?
Well, I mean, I kind of
Was
saw.
it a girl tree?
I kind of saw. You know, it was kind of like a whispery, feminine voice. Could have been a girl tree.
Okay, nobody wants to hear about you being inside a lady tree.
Trees
You're asking the
make
questions
out,
here.
or however babies happen. through
Anyways,
They tangle their roots.
if I had anyone that was like a motherly figure, it would have been Glowed, and she trained me to be a druid because the staff from Leathandria, that was not a usual thing to happen. The tree offers a piece of itself to someone.
So what can you do with this staff? Like, I saw you entangle some enemies, but is that the extent of your magical affinity, or?
No, I can control all of the elements I can summon fake creatures and animals if I want, but I would rather not do that. That's how my dad died. Galode was trying to defend Moonreach that day.
Do we remember seeing something like that?
There was a lot of chaos going on. It would be hard to tell through all the explosions and Moonreach cocktails and Rothian soldiers what exactly was going on in and outside.
She summoned my dad to help fight, and they both perished.
Can you heal the sick?
I can.
Well, see, there you go.
I forgot to mention that. Yeah, that's like one of my main things.
Are we just automatically taking him along now?
Convene.
Well, if you're going to save my friend, I would like to go along so I can make sure that he's okay.
We don't care about your friend.
Can it be like a little side mission, side quest thing that we can kind of work on if we have time?
I feel.
Well, I'm going back there to look for my friend. I would like you all to come with me. I will be outnumbered if I go by myself. Why am I so bad at this mic thing?
Because you keep looking at Tomas.
Yeah, you gotta stop looking at me.
Stop miring him.
This picture you're looking at Tomar.
Or do the pivot with your eyes.
That's what I was trying to do.
I mean,
the eyes in your face, not your
the
head.
ones in my face, not
the big
else.
eye on your neck.
Oh,
I mean, if we do go there, he could be useful. Is all
So,
I'm saying.
are we having a side
well,
conversation?
I could be useful in your other stuff too. I mean, I want to fight the Rothians. They killed my dad.
Do we even want to fight the Rothians anymore? You said they're working together.
What?
Can we talk on the side for a second, guys?
What? What do you want?
Go ahead.
Pinwin pulls you
I'll be here.
to the side.
Okay, so I know I'm the bad cop, but I kind of want to be his friend. So, is he our buddy? Are we gonna go to the place?
I think you can be his friend, Pinwin.
You just need to dial it back a little bit.
You think? I
He's
mean,
not hostile. Look at him.
yeah, but
covered in leaves.
But I was bad cop. I tried it.
You
got
tried
pretty
it?
good, right?
You were great.
Thank you.
And now I think you can just peel that mask
think-
off
okay,
and
you
be
think-
good cop.
Okay, back to Pinwin. Okay, all right.
There you go.
Put bad cop on the side.
Yeah, just put
Move
him,
on from there.
Put him on the back
But
burner
you just
for now.
let me know when we need him again.
Yeah,
'cause
I'll let you know when you
I'm
need to pull him out.
ready.
All right. I mean,
Y'all get everything figured out over there?
He's just sitting very patiently, his legs not even touching the floor from where he sits in the chair.
Well, impatiently, kind of. My friend,
how long ago was
Pipe
this?
down, baby legs.
I don't know.
Stubby.
That is, I'm taller than him.
How tall are you?
I'm like max dwarf height.
What is
Which
next?
is
5
Okay,
feet.
there is one way to settle this back to back, boys.
Let's do it.
I'm 4'7".
so
I'm
you
a
guys
little
go
bit
back
taller.
to back, and yeah, he's slightly taller.
He's got you by
Good 5
about an
inches.
inch.
You don't look that
It
tall
was about
to me.
if he's
I'm gonna put
four,
my back
4'7"
too.
and I'm 5, then
I'm
5 inches.
Yeah.
5 is
I'm
like
not
giant
fantastic
for a-
at
The whole
measuring.
math thing.
She's way taller than you guys, so everybody looks like roughly within an inch of each other. Yeah,
You're
she's
all
like
just
over
tiny.
a foot taller than you guys. All of you.
You guys are all what, like 1.5 feet or something around there?
I'm a good 5 feet.
You're not good for measuring things. Anyway,
Hard to tell from way up here.
on that high horse. Anyway,
He's got you there.
I kind of stand up against them. Gorbel and I'm taller, right?
He is very much shorter than both of the dwarves.
You know, it's close, Pinwin. It's really, really close. I think they've got you beat by maybe just a centimeter.
I'll keep growing, right?
Yeah.
Just keep eating all that meat.
I love meat.
Drink all your ale.
I love ale.
doesn't that stunt your growth? Doesn't that make you stay short?
Nah, that can't be. I love it. So
didn't
good.
work
And
on
look
me.
how big I am. I'm 3'10".
There's quite the height disparity.
It's just nice to finally catch up with you guys. I mean, this is what I've been working towards for a while now.
I'm willing to see what's going on in Hart Valley.
But in the future, if you are stalking a group of people for their whole lives, maybe don't intro with that. It's off-putting.
With the truth,
Or the
just
viney
like
thing.
lie to 'em. I'm not
That's kind
very
of
good at lying to
aggressive.
people.
Insight check. He's lying at me.
Well, stick with me. I can teach you.
All right, I'll take you up on that.
What time of day is it?
It's still late morning.
Do you guys have anything going on today? Did you have plans?
Just the regular goings-on around town, the preparing food, drying out the crops.
Do you have like
So this is-
like a provisioner, supplies of any kind?
Yeah.
Is this like your town?
Yes, I built it.
Well, this is pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Nice
We-
little town. Sorry
If you
about all
guys-
that mess on the road there.
If you'd like to join us for afternoon training, you're welcome to come.
Yeah. What are you going to train me in?
Well, it's a bit of a hybrid. You might just want to check it out for yourself.
I shall. So we're going to train?
All right, and on that note, you guys you unstrap him from the chair, and you guys exit the holding pen. You can still hear in the back some of the angry oaths being tossed your way from those captives that you took earlier. And as you exit the holding pen, you can hear the bell of the temple toll, telling you that it has reached 11 a.m. The group of you leave the holding pen where her stag was being kept and make your way down the road.
Making my way downtown.
Walking fast, something,
Eating ass.
It's the remix. It's 2K18, guys. Yeah, you make your way down, not
much
eating
mix.
ass, but I don't know, maybe you are. That's up to you. But you,
Do we have to roll for that?
how well you
roll?
eat ass.
Ass munch.
Both constitution and dexterity. Until you reach the outskirts, walking through the main gate, you follow it around to the west, and there is a large constructed training grounds. One of Smoochie's specific requests before he left was to have a training ground set up to train the soldiers, and it appears that has been done. There are large columns built from wood, and the entire circumference of it is about 100 feet. It's a nice-sized little training ground, and it's where most of the soldiers spend their off time during the day. Even now, though it is cold and snowy, you can see a few soldiers trading blows out there in the yard with blunted blades.
Lita, Zyko.
You're gonna have to roll to see if they're out there. We can't just assume that they're out there.
They're the ones in charge of training.
Yeah, but they might be doing other stuff.
What am I rolling?
Perception.
That seems a little excessive.
Out of nowhere, Rey Mysterio leaps from the rafters.
Followed by Ric Flair.
12.
12. They're not out there.
She was rolling
Well,
for if they were out there or not.
No, she was rolling for perception. They're not there right now. They're off doing other things. So there's just a collection of soldiers out there. Just like a handful.
I guess our leaders aren't here. Must be taking a midday break.
Wait. Psycho's the leader? He's leading you?
Leading training.
Training? He's training people? Okay.
Lita's really taken him under her wing.
Okay. Well, her only wing.
I said wing singular.
Lita lost an arm in the previous arc.
Because of us.
Well, no.
Kind of.
Because of her, because she offered to go ahead and then backfired. So.
And then she was a bad scout.
The two soldiers that you can see right now trading blows. One is a gnome woman, and she seems to be fighting with quite intense ferocity, and she's fighting a young human man, and he seems to be just trying as best as he can to defend himself from her onslaught as she whack after whack is attacking him with the blunted blades.
How many people do you have here?
About 150.
Oh. It's not too bad.
Is it 150 or is it more or less than that?
Like 105.
105. Well, Gorbel's not good at math.
104. Sorry.
Have you been saying 150?
104.
About 104.
Who are they? Are they hired mercenaries or?
No, we have barbarians. We have some of our original followers.
Halfling buddies.
You halflings that Pinwin sent our way.
Great. Okay.
Okay.
Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to just...
Well, I was going to have Lita and Zyko give you a little demonstration of what they've been working on, but since they're not here, I suppose we can do whatever you like. If you're hungry, thirsty, if you want to go pray in the temple that we made for you.
I mean, you could definitely do some training out there if you wanted.
Are you feeling up to training, Tomar?
I mean, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna keel over.
You sure?
Do you want me to prove it to you?
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe before we put you into actual action.
Are you
right.
feeling okay there? Do you need any healing or?
Get in the ring.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay, short stuff. Let's go.
Whoa.
All right, so not about to be told what to do. Gorbel does exactly what she's told to do and comes out the center of the ring.
In a weird twist of fate, does exactly what told to do.
The two of you square off on opposite sides of this ring.
Are we betting on this, Pinwin?
Do you know Pinwin's name?
Yeah, I heard you guys talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pinwin tells everyone his name literally every second.
I bet.
Pinwin!
They both will win because they're both really good.
I'm gonna bet for the big one.
Which?
Put my money on the big one.
The big one.
The big one.
They're both big to me.
Oh, the bigger one.
Okay. Can I bet both? I think both.
Sure.
You guys can see as it clears out, some of the soldiers now have come to watch. They're starting to gather around, and you can see some familiar faces out there, Pinwin. Some of the soldiers and laborers that you've learned to know over the past few months that you've been back.
So are we gonna roll initiative or something?
Yeah, guys, roll initiative.
17.
17?
8.
All right, so Tomar, just as Gorbel's getting settled, she can see out, and she's seeing who all is in attendance. She looks like she's very seriously trying to decide where Zyko and Lita are. You get the drop on her and start your initial assault.
All right, I put on my goggles, but underneath them you can kind of see them glow a little bit from behind the lenses. And
spooky.
I turn, and like there seems to be like the shape of Tomar still there, but there's kind of like a blur. And I'm gonna perform slow time, and that requires a dimension die. I have 5 dimension die to use, but what it means is the world around you slows as you channel raw energy from the ethereal plane. You instantly receive a bonus action. You have advantage on attacks until the end of your next turn. All enemies have disadvantage on attacks against you until the end of your next turn. and you have a bonus to AC equal to your dimension die roll until the end of your next turn.
Jesus.
So it's basically the world around him is slower, and it makes it harder to hit him. So I also have a +7 to my AC as a bonus.
7.
Yep.
But it just looks normal to us, right?
Well, other than him moving really fast.
So he's going to seem like he's moving crazy fast. Now, is there any resistance that she has to roll against on that?
Not for that one. She just has disadvantage on attack rolls because I'm moving fast.
Okay.
But that'll just be for this turn.
Okay.
And I'm going to go up and I'm going to attack her
So that's a bonus action?
With what?
with my sword.
What?
Ooh.
We didn't swap them out for blunt swords? This is training.
We'll say that you guys picked up a couple of blunt weapons.
So that's going to be a 30 to hit.
It hits. Your first attack strikes Gorbel as she is distracted and brings up her blade to block.
12 damage for that one.
12 damage.
Second attack coming at you. 30.
30 to hit?
Yeah.
Your second attack hits true, catching her just under her guard.
15 damage. And then... Shit. 17.
Misses. She gets wise to your your attacks and ducks very easily underneath the third attack.
So you essentially just see him, like, kind of poof out of existence a little bit in a speedy blur and just suddenly come up on you and whack, whack.
Now so is it physical attacks that have the disadvantage, or is it any attack?
Yeah.
Okay, so if she uses a spell, she won't be at the disadvantage?
Well, if it requires targeting me,
Okay.
then probably, yeah.
Okay. Gorbel, your turn.
I am going to cast Otto's Irresistible Dance.
All right. And
I point my finger at Tomar and I say, "Dance, little monkey." Wisdom save 16.
Ah, shit. Okay. I fail.
You're shuffling, you're tapping your feet.
so the entire group watching just sees Tomar suddenly stop attacking and start shuffling, kicking his foot out, making a nice little funky dance.
But now he has disadvantage on dex saving throws and attack rolls.
Well,
And I have advantage on attack rolls.
so you canceled out your the disadvantage there. Very well played.
Was that an action? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can't attack me anyway.
Yes.
All right. So I'm just dancing. What else happens?
Oh, you're just dancing.
But I still get a turn?
And we are cheering.
For another turn, you're
Because
going to
it was
have to
fun.
make another... You're going to have to save.
So that would relinquish your turn here, so it would give her
All
another
right,
turn.
so go for it.
Yep. So now it's your turn again, Gorbel. What are you going to do?
What's a concentration spell?
Oh, is it? So you can
Well, you can do other
attack.
spells.
You
I
can
can attack
cast
some.
non-concentration, or you can hit.
Yep.
All right. You're going to smack with this blunt sword.
Which will conveniently give the same stats as your normal one, but
Oh, wait. I have advantage?
yes. No,
No.
it just cancels it out.
You
So
had
what did you get?
disadvantage first.
17.
You miss.
You miss.
So I'm dancing and I
So he just while he's shuffle dancing, he just right underneath the blade.
Now I need to make a wisdom save again.
Correct.
Natural 20.
All right, he saves.
Damn.
He super saves. So his dance stops.
He's gonna start laughing.
Are you gonna laugh then?
Perfect.
That's a nice trick.
Your moves have gotten better.
Okay. Now I'm gonna use another dimension die.
And how many of those do you have?
I have 3 per short rest.
All right.
And I'm gonna use ethereal weapon strike.
All right.
You infuse your weapon with potent energy from the ethereal plane. Make a weapon attack against a target.
All right, so you guys see a pulsing black mist start to swirl around Tomar and swirl around his blade itself.
Ooh, 16.
Miss.
All right, I'm going to attack again.
Gorbel dodges out of the way. Fancy footwork and starts taunting.
17.
Also miss. Gorbel is ducking and dodging.
14.
And all 3 of your attacks do not find purchase on Gorbel the Adorable. She does a little shimmy dance herself and flexes, and everyone around the ring cheers for her. Yeah, Gorbel! Woo! Yeah! You're new to them, so she hushes the crowd with a sarcastic smirk. All right, Gorbel, you're up.
I am going to cast blindness.
All right, and how do you do that?
Close those pretty little eyes. Constitution save 16.
18.
Oh, he saves. The dreaded mist flies out to obscure his vision, but with his goggles and his quick thinking and resilience, he is able to shove off the spell.
And I'm going to rush on her and attack again.
All right. Just a normal...
Yep. 30.
Hits.
Barely.
17 damage.
All right. Gorbel gets a resounding crack across the chest with the blunted blade.
26.
To hit?
Yep.
It hits.
17.
Another crack across the side of the head.
Wait, no, that was 16, my bad. And then 20.
Hits.
11.
11 damage. You throw your shoulder into her chest and slice down at her leg, and she takes a nice grievous slice across her shin. How you doing over there?
Then I
Gorbel?
raise my hands at the crowd. Ah!
Some of them are starting to see the turn of the tide. Yeah.
Alright. I rush him to attack.
All right. You have disadvantage on your attack. Or wait, is that over with?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just attack like normal.
13.
You miss.
Well, I get 2 attacks. 21.
You hit.
So the first attack, he ducks underneath, really cockily, and then the second one crunches right across the top of his head.
And I'm just doing an unarmed strike, right?
No, you're you're attacking with your sword.
Oh, I thought this was just like an unarmed strike because we're not.
Yeah,
using
but it's
swords.
it's theoretical, basically.
Yeah.
We're using our regular gear.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Way much more. Much more many.
Many, some, so...
All right, we'll get there. Okay, 12 damage.
Okay. That's your only... Wait, do you have 2 attacks? You have 2 attacks.
That
Yeah,
was the
but I
second
missed
one.
them.
Okay.
So the second one cracks you on top of the head, and you feel a momentary, like, ugh. You hear a ringing in your ears.
All right, I'm going to do all 3 of my attack rolls at once.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
So there's a 21, a 14, and then a 30.
All right, the first attack hits. The second one, she dodges out of the way, but the second one, you slap her right across the face with your blade.
14 damage, and then...
What do you have for life here?
And then 16 damage.
I should probably call it.
So are you gonna yield?
I suppose. I roll away.
Sure you're not too weak to continue?
I know when to call it, Tomar.
All right, then. I think we've proven the point here. So are we ready to head out?
Yeah, well, maybe I need to go suck some god's dick and get some superpowers, too.
These aren't god powers.
The crowd is a bit confused because they expected something really cool, and then it was a yielded battle, and now they're looking at Gorbel like, There's a murmur of like, what the fuck is going on here?
Well, Tree Guy, technically they both won
Tree
because
Guy.
they didn't die. So I win.
Well, yeah, that's true. All right. I owe you 1 silver.
Yeah, we didn't even set a price.
I'll get that to
Great.
you as soon as I get some silver.
Oh yeah, do you have money?
No.
Okay, that's okay. It's fine.
I feel like if he had money, he'd probably have clothes.
Well, I mean, I've got this robe.
Right. That's
And-
what I mean.
And we'll say that was temporary HP, so you guys any damage you took is mostly superficial, so
So do we get our
you
stuff back, basically?
Yeah, you get your HP back.
What about their abilities and stuff that they used?
We'll say after a short rest, we'll say you weren't going full steam, so...
Right on.
Alright, so you walk away from the training grounds, and the two of you... Seems like that's kind of your way of settling your...
That was fun. That's the longest... We haven't sparred in, like, years.
Yeah, next time let's do it with weapons.
When they were young, like, Gorbel was kind of like Tomar's sister, in a way. Like, she stayed there with their dad and stuff, and they often settled disputes by sparring, and sometimes they got, like, too violent. But, yeah.
Alright, so what's next on the agenda, folks?
Well, aren't we heading to Hart Valley?
Is that the plan?
Already?
I mean, the day's just begun.
I mean, I'd
Yeah,
like
I mean,
to.
we should probably find Zyko, right?
I probably should find out where the trainers are.
Probably get some people.
Yeah,
to
it'd be
go
good to
with
see
us.
Zyko. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Alright, so asking around, some of the general townsfolk indicate that they last saw Zyko in the inn.
I make my way over there.
Alright, so you enter the inn, and there is Zyko standing guard outside of one of the inn rooms. One of the lower level.
Buddy, what the fuck?
Hi.
Are you just not working today, or?
No,
Zyko?
Tomar.
Hi, Zyko.
Hi, Pinwin.
Wow, you look different.
Jacked, right?
Great guarding.
You look different too, Tomar. You got, sick, is that right?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, well, Belba makes some good soup, so, you should, try that. Maybe?
Is there any available right now?
You could go ask.
That's fine.
He comes up and he grasps your forearm with his and nods at you. Smoochie left, but it's good to see you back. I was missing you.
I missed you too. It looks like you've got some training in on your own.
Yeah, I've been doing it a bit. Just trying to do what you guys taught me, and kind of develop my own little style and stuff. And yeah, I chopped a guy's arms off.
Oh. Nice.
I was like, da-da-da-da-da, slice. It was pretty neat.
Is that the da-da-da-da you running around doing that?
I kicked a door down.
With the sandals?
He motions to his sandals on his feet, his chapped red feet.
It's quite bold of you to wear sandals in the wintertime.
Well, just doing like Gorbel does. She's the fastest person I know, and I want to be fast.
His sandals are not magic. Just leather.
And cold.
Great.
You know, it doesn't matter what Belba says to you. You can wear socks with those, Psycho.
But it looks dorky.
No, it doesn't.
I don't like it.
It's practical. It's armor for your feet.
Socks.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Oh. Sounds like Zyko knows a little bit more about socks than Gorbel does.
No, I'm not like a sock expert or anything, but I don't like the way it constricts my toes, and I just prefer not to wear them.
How do you feel about going to Hart Valley?
Okay, let's go.
Wait, first of all, why aren't you training?
I'm protecting this room. I'm supposed to stand guard out here, make sure nothing happens.
Who's in there?
Nobody.
Psycho.
He's like looking around very, very obviously.
You can tell me.
Lita and her boyfriend are in there, and I'm supposed to stand guard and let him know if anybody approaches.
Who's she fucking now?
You didn't see him.
He was already in there, I think.
I bang on the door.
Just a minute.
Lita, maybe after hours.
After a few moments, Lita pushes the door open. Her hair is askew. She's all sweaty, and just behind her in a bed in the room, you can see this tiny gnome man with his arms perched behind his head, looking really satisfied, sitting on top of the sheets, so he's completely naked.
Yes.
Are you gonna go to work?
Oh, shit, what time is it?
Well, it's like midday.
Oh, fuck!
She looks over at the gnome, and he looks around him and sees a lump of clothes, and he hurls it at her. She catches it, starts putting it on in front of you guys. Oh yeah, she was naked when she opened the door, and then she waves and rushes out the door. The gnome still leaning back. So, where you guys from?
We close the door.
Stag closes the door. You hear muffled behind it. All right.
Ugh.
Well,
That was weird.
Zyko, does this happen a lot?
I don't know. I was around, she grabbed me and said, watch the door, knock on the door if somebody comes. But then I saw Toma, and I was like, I forgot.
you know, Zygo, you can tell people no. It's okay,
But she's my boss.
but like
For work.
that, yeah.
Not for sex.
I don't know.
They could have just locked the door, maybe.
Zyko, have you ever sexed on Lita?
No.
You
Just
would
be
tell
careful.
us if you did, though, right?
Yeah, my life's an open book.
Just be careful. She seems like she's had her share of experience, and
That's not why you need to be careful.
I keep my eyes open. Yeah, no, she never put no moves on me. I'd have wrestled her away.
Good.
all right.
Wrestled her
That's all
in.
we ask.
So now what?
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Zyko.
He
Hi, I'm
holds his hand
Stag.
out.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Do you want to use my bathtub? You're a bit dirty.
No. I don't have time right now.
All right.
Maybe when we get back.
You've got a bit of
He points to his own face.
Beard?
yeah,
You got a berry on your beard.
you
Oh.
got some twigs,
Oh.
some babies.
Yeah, I'll pop the berry in my mouth and chew it.
Zyko seems stunned but a little pleased.
Hungry?
You got more in
He
there?
reaches out and he takes.
No.
No?
They're good berries.
What
Really
kind
good.
of berries?
Good berries.
Beard berries.
Zyko tentatively places the berry in his mouth.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
me
a
have
bit
one.
tangy.
Can I have one?
Sure. That'll fill you up all day.
Really?
Yep.
The berry?
Yep. It's like a whole meal.
You do not feel full, but it's a pretty pleasing taste. A bit tangy, as Zyko indicated.
Does it taste like beard?
Tastes really good, actually. I didn't notice the beardy flavor.
Well, damn it if everyone's trying.
All right, here you go.
I'll try beardberry.
Okay.
I've only got
Pay
a few
close
more,
attention,
though.
children. Do not eat random beard berries if somebody comes up to you with them.
Beard bees.
It's not bad.
Right?
It tastes less hairy than I thought it would.
Yeah. Good berries.
So does your beard grow berries?
No, I just put them in there. These are I did not grow these in my beard. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
How did they get there then?
I put them in there.
Oh,
So that's
What
just
else do you keep
I
in
don't
there?
have many pockets.
I extend my hand and touch his beard.
what does she feel?
What do I find in this beard?
There's twigs. There's a few more berries. There's a lot of matted hair.
I like that you raised your eyebrows at matted hair. Like, yeah, girl.
Ugh. Any other treasures? Think we cleaned them out.
Okay, well, that's an interesting thing you got going.
All right. So, what's the next leg of your journey here, folks?
I suppose we need to pick up provisions before we head out.
Well, we're in the right spot.
Everybody looks at Pinwin.
hi. So yeah, what do we need?
Maybe some rations to take with us.
Want to run back into the kitchen and grab us some of the dry goods?
Sure.
Do we have a potion shop or something?
Well, those good berries will fill you up for the whole day. You won't need any more food.
Well, what if we're gone longer?
Remember?
I can make more.
Oh, never mind.
It's a spell.
Oh, is it? Okay.
You thought I was just handing them berries? No, they're good berries. It's a spell, and they do actually feed people for a whole day.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Ambus
Yeah.
berries.
And they restore 1 health point per berry.
So he seems very genuine when he says these will fill you up for a whole day. And I rescind what I said before. You do feel satisfied and full. In fact, you all do.
This is very good.
They're damn good berries.
Did you eat a berry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave everybody a berry.
Okay, well,
Oh yeah. Let me go to the kitchen.
So Pinwin dusts off down the hallway to grab some provisions for you guys.
still.
Returns a few moments later with like a handful of dried meat and a small sack of little bread rolls. Enough for a couple days journey for you guys.
I don't stop eating when I'm full.
You fool.
Does anyone need potions or anything?
Yeah, let's go down to Let's Shop.
So we'll cut to that. Let's Shop is actually, at the moment, he spends most of his time in the alchemy lab below in the basement.
I meant his workshop.
Oh, so
Not
yeah,
like a-
yeah. He spends most of his time in the alchemy lab in the basement of the Shade Gazer Manor. As you guys enter the dank and dusty lab, you get this very musty smell.
You guys didn't clean up the place in the year that you've been here?
No, Let
working.
has left it largely uncleaned, but you see that he has been busy at work trying to figure out different potions and ingredient swapping for, kind of reverse engineering a lot of things. There's a lot of different half and quarter filled vials. Some are full, some are bubbling. And you can see that he's hard at work in the back of the lab, his nose buried deep in a book. Yes.
How's it going?
It is fine. I am very frustrated at the moment, trying to figure out how to reverse engineer a slinking potion. My brother, he has not written to me in several months, and I am getting very, very upset.
Did he teach you how to make potions now?
He did not. He is being very close-lipped and very stingy with the information. He says, if I want it, I have to pay for it.
Well, why don't we just pay him?
This has not been brought to my attention.
Well, we can pay for.
Don't pay that stodgy motherfucker.
Well, if we wanna send.
No,
him
he can
trade-
choke on a dick and die.
So things.
I am his brother. He should give me the ingredient list. I have spent so much time on the road trying to sell his shitty little potions, and now he comes to me begging for money in order to give me the ingredient list and how to make. I say, fuck you, brother.
Is he still like super into being in Rothia? Like, we could just bring him here, and then you guys could have a business with your potions.
He is. Last I talked to him, he was not very pleased with the idea of leaving, though I do not know how he feels now with all the skirmishes. Perhaps he would like to leave? I don't know.
So you know about the skirmishes between Rothia and Veldel.
Well, last I talked to him, he wrote to me and said as much, but I
Did you give him this address?
I mean,
That's a good point.
he does know how to get a hold of me, yes, but my brother, he's on the level. He would not betray
You were just
us.
talking about how he's a cocksucker.
Yes, but he's not a traitor.
I mean, he wouldn't be a traitor if he turned us in, because he's from Rothia.
He would be a traitor to me, and believe me, if he traded against me, I would go find him and I would put his face in the mud.
I think you should try and contact him again and tell him to come here, but vaguely, so if the message is intercepted, they're not going to know what it means.
Well, I can try, but I make no promises. He is a stupid piece of stinking awful.
So anyway, fam sounds good. What do you have potion-wise whipped up?
Well, I've got a couple of healing potions, and I have one potion of greater strength, but I sold some of them to the soldiers around here, and they've probably used them. I must admit that my skill is quite low still. I have been working diligently, but it seems to only yield very minor results.
Well, we'll take what you got.
All right. He points to a table across the room when there's a handful of potions sitting on them.
Take with caution, because I do not know if they are 100% good to go.
You got it. Ooh, do you have any of that special drink that you've been making?
Are you talking about the Orosian Rose alcohol?
That's the one.
Well, I have been trying, but yes, you can try it for yourself.
And he goes over to a barrel where he's got a ladle sticking out of it, and you hear a slosh as he picks up a ladle full of very pungent smelling liquid and brings it over to you. It's dripping onto the stone floor of the musty alchemy lab.
This is what I had brought up to us earlier.
Yes. This is what I sent to you.
I take a small sip.
It tastes like jet fuel. Not that you know what that is. It tastes like airship fuel.
Perfect. Bottle this up for me.
Oh, you got it. How many bottles would you like?
I think one is plenty.
One bottle? All right.
I never understood this. Like, why does everybody like drinks that taste awful?
Because
What is wrong?
It is potent, my friend.
What is wrong with some nice spiced warm milk with rum in it?
Spiced warm milk? The hell are you talking about?
I've never had warm milk with rum in it.
No.
It's so good.
I also have not had this drink. This sounds like a baby drink for babies.
Well, you're
He's the
lucky.
size-
Babies.
You're lucky I'm in a good mood, because
Oh yes, I don't want to travel downwind of you when you're in a bad mood. I remember. Thomas Iron Fist.
all right.
You didn't even greet me. I haven't seen you in a very long time.
That's because I don't like you.
Well, I like you, Thomas, and perhaps you should maybe realign your allegiances and maybe be nice to the people that work for you.
You don't work for me.
I work for the Wolves. I am a wolf. By all intents and purposes, I am part of the gang.
Did somebody call him a wolf? Has he been
Oh,
labeled as
let-
a wolf?
It's not intense and purposes, it's intensive purposes. Language barrier.
I make mistakes. I do not speak Verdalinian Common. It is a much more simple and class language. The Rosian Common is what I am used to, and it is much more eloquent and beautiful.
Yeah, well, I mean, we just don't want you making a fool of
No,
yourself.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you looking out for me. I will now know it is intensive purposes. For all intensive purposes, I am a wolf.
Okay.
Is it pronounced wolf? Is that correct?
Yep, he has been a big help over the past year. He
I have.
really has.
Okay, fine.
I don't know if we ever threw around the word wolf.
Yeah, well, we workshop it. We see what happens, perhaps. We see how potent this drink is, and then maybe you all agree that I am a Wolf of Moonreach.
Well, maybe get your brother here.
I will get to work immediately.
And when he says that, he grabs a big dusty bottle, blows off some of the cobwebs on it, and dunks it into the barrel of the pungent alcohol. Then he pops a cork in it and hands it to you, Gorbel.
Thanks,
Do you
Let.
drink alcohol?
Yeah, I'm a big fan. How much for a bottle?
Well,
I thought you didn't have money.
I do not know...
I do have money, I was joking.
What is your name?
I'm her Stag.
All right, Herr Stag. Do you like the most beautifully potent alcohol in the land?
I do.
All right, what's it worth to you, my friend?
1 silver, but I'll owe you.
I want 1 silver it is. Place it in my palm.
All right, 1 silver.
You put 1 silver in his palm?
Actually, I only have gold. I'll give him 1 gold.
My friend, perhaps my common is not so good, but this is a gold piece, not a silver. Did I misunderstand?
I'll be back for more. You go ahead and keep that.
He bites it.
Well, you are let's
tastes like
first
berries.
and best customer. It tastes like a beard. I'm not.
He takes another bottle and dunks it in and puts another cork in it.
Here you are, my friend.
And he places the gold piece in a pocket of his blazer, and he dusts his hands off.
Well, I'm gonna call it a day because it is my first and only sale, and I am going to go to the tavern and get drunk.
Well, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too, Herr Stag.
I want to hear about your brother by the time we get back.
When will you be back?
Tomorrow, maybe?
It's about a
Couple
day
days,
away.
man.
Who could tell, really?
Well, I will see what I can do, but I am not. I cannot see the future.
Can you try?
I will see what I can do for you, Gorbel, the adorable.
Gross. Bye.
Love you there. Bye.
So you guys leave the alchemy lab, head upstairs. Now what?
Did you guys check out the rest of this mansion?
In the year, you've checked it out pretty extensively. There's a huge library that was discovered not long after you guys came back to this place, and as you know, Michael has been put in charge of refurbishing and taking care of all the books in there. There's also many rooms. There's a dining hall that's large enough to seat 50 men, and there's a pretty nice sized kitchen. There's plenty of secret passages, and of course there's that massive ballroom where you fought the Vampire Lord.
So yeah, we've explored.
There's a library, though.
Upstairs.
Probably a lot of old books about stuff.
Oh, did you say where's the library?
No, but I was confirming that you had one.
Oh, yeah, we do.
You guys probably didn't check it out that much, I imagine.
I mean, a little bit. we
I
did.
made it a priority.
Like that.
I don't know what you're implying, Tomar.
I know you don't like to read.
I can read just fine.
Can read versus enjoying the pursuit. Or,
I read just fine.
cool. Well, I'll have to check it out. There might be something of use in there.
Oh my god, you're such a fucking dork.
What the hell was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say now. Shit. Well, we could carry on.
Well, do we need anything else before we leave?
I mean, you were there. What were they doing? The people in the town, that was weird.
Chasing us?
Pretty weird.
I mean, did you sense anything? Like something, like some arcane energy or anything that implies what power they draw from that we could maybe prepare for in advance?
I mean, I sensed some kind of unnatural force there. I can't really tell exactly what it was. There's something influencing those people there.
Did they seem undead by any chance?
We were only there for a few minutes. I would say no. I mean, at a glance, couldn't really tell.
What about the construct? Do we still have that here?
I was waiting for this. I was hoping at least one of you would come back. But yes, I have the construct. I think it is ready to go. Yay!
Do you want to fill them in, the audience in, on what that is?
So, in the last arc, when they were last here in Old Cairn, they stumbled upon a construct, a fabricated humanoid, based on pretty much the Warforged race in 5e. But this one's made of wood, cord, and a little bit of metal, fused together to form a simulacrum of some sort of humanoid creature. Anyway,
I always was thinking of Mokujin from, like, Tekken.
yeah, I kind of like that. Or a crash test dummy. And anyway, an enemy of sorts, an antagonist at least, Miraluk, stole the body and used it as his own and escaped with it. And they only recovered it at the end of the arc after discovering it was damaged.
Well, it also housed what we think to be the spirit of Prince Othis,
one of the heirs to the throne.
Well, he would be the heir.
He would be the heir
if he were brought back to life or brought to the attention of everyone else, because he's older than Gustav.
Yes, correct. He was,
and he's in a little bowl.
Yes, his essence is in a stone that, when placed into a slot in the back of the construct, seemingly specifically designed for this purpose, he springs to life. But Miralux stole this body and form, leaving them with the prince's stone, and it's been Gorbel's personal journey to restore the prince and bring him back in the construct form. Though it was damaged after the battle, in the interim, she was able to, using specific instructions from Delane Oceanbinder, a wizard at the College of Wisdom, at the Tower of Wisdom, she was able to construct and replace pieces that were broken on what Miraluk had done to the construct, and was able to fix the charging station that the construct has to have in order to revitalize itself. Though it's slower than before, because it's not a perfect fix, it's been charging and repowering the construct for the last few months, and it's getting close, if not the time, for it to be able to release its charge on the construct and allow it to walk through the world.
Have you put the stone in it?
Not yet.
Oh, well, we should do that before we leave, right?
Right now? Just...
I mean, he's been stuck in that stone for how long? Like, we don't even know where it takes him when he's in there.
I don't know. I just thought it was going to be something like a special moment. Something a bit more theatrics than this.
If you have a good reason for waiting, then we can obviously wait till we get back. But
I'm just nervous of what we're going to find out.
Also, it's not fully charged quite yet, so...
Okay, well, let's worry about it when we get back. Let's deal with fucked up Hart Valley. Save Cerulean.
I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about a whole construct thing.
Oh, well.
But
They briefly recap for Herstog's benefit, much like I just did for the listening viewer.
Wow. That's
Do you understand
strange.
now?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
A split second, I do. I
Okay,
understand.
Holy shit, I'm so informed.
It's like I was there or something.
All right, so you guys spend the next little bit getting ready, and you all meet outside of the gates of the town. You can see that since it's mid-afternoon, it's getting towards later afternoon now. Some of the laborers and stuff like that are making their way back into the town. What did I miss?
Elijah keeps he keeps burping and he keeps like turning towards me and burping into his hands.
Cute. That is a handsome maneuver. Stag, you noticed immediately before you even came in that there is a copse of willow trees just outside of the refurbished walls of the city, and you recognize that those willow trees are also very similar to willow trees you saw outside of the about maybe a 20-minute jaunt outside of Hart Valley.
Okay.
So do you have a stables? Maybe we could take horses and take a journey?
No. We can. I've got this.
What do you mean?
I take an action. I take my staff, and I trace a doorway onto one of the trees.
You guys see Stag take his staff out, trace the shape of a doorway, and
Reach out, grab the doorknob, turn it, open it.
What's this?
What?
What's this?
What are you doing?
and a magical doorway has opened up on the trunk of this willow tree.
I cast transport via plants.
You guys see this magical bullshit going on.
All right,
Fuck.
I'll go first.
What
we
kind
gotta,
of
we gotta,
berries did you give us?
we gotta be quick. Let's rush through. Come on. So I'll hop through.
You watch as Herstog hops through and disappears into
God.
a magical doorway.
Okay, I run through.
All right, Tomar
Me
leaps through as
Shadow.
well. Pinwin on Shadow leaps through. Gorbel, you're standing there with Zyko. You guys look at each other.
Better hurry.
Let's go.
Zyko, all right, and he runs and he leaps through.
And I jump on through.
All right, and you leap through. And Gorbel, since you're the last one through, I'll describe your experience. You feel like your body being pulled, and you feel a weird magical warmth around you as you are shot through what feels like a tunnel, and then you wind up lying in the grass far away in a place you have not visited in well over a year. The forest near Hart Valley.
How the fuck did you do that?
I told you I was a druid.
That was so fun! Do it again. Okay, maybe not
This is
again,
where
but
we're
Not
supposed to
right
see
now.
soon.
But it's about 20 minutes this way.
How did we get from there to there so quickly?
Well,
I
that's
feel
just
funky.
one of my abilities.
You guys remember this spot as over a year ago where the barbarians attacked you right outside of the city of Hart Valley. And remember
Got
that,
some memories here.
remember that asshole little kid that you guys kept having to headbutt into unconsciousness? Tomar.
You guys were headbutting a kid here?
No.
We've done that a lot.
What's a headbutt?
All right, so you guys make your way towards the town, and you can all feel this weird sense of just not rightness as you get closer and closer to the town of Hart Valley. Even the trees themselves seem to drip with some sort of ominous foreboding jism.
Hey, Druid? Are the trees supposed to be drippy?
No.
Seem a little
Are they
off?
drippy?
Did this look like what it
Oh,
was?
they are dripping. What is that?
Almost. It looks like foreboding.
I'll take my staff and try to knock one of the leaves out of the tree or something.
All right, a clump of wet leaves just falls down in front of you.
Ew.
Can I roll to inspect it or something?
Yeah, roll investigate.
Okay. I think that's at 13.
13. All right, yeah, this seems very unnatural, and in your very
Fucked up leaves.
your very courageous flight earlier, you did not know. You didn't have time to inspect the trees, but they seem as though they are not rotting necessarily, but almost in a perpetual state of gunky evil.
Well,
Episode
you
name.
look at that leaf right there. That's an evil leaf right there. That's what that looks like.
I didn't know trees could be evil.
You think
Well,
so?
it's not necessarily the tree, but there's evil. That gooey stuff. That's evil.
That's pure evil right there. So that's what it looks like.
That is, just take it in, everybody. That's what it looks like. I told you. There's evil afoot.
It's just, it's not what I expected it to look like.
It's pretty gross and
No,
drippy.
you're right.
So yeah,
So
how far away from the town are we now?
A 20-minute walk.
So you went to the town, and then immediately everyone started chasing you.
Not immediately. We went into the tavern. I asked for a couple drinks. We waited for about 5 minutes. Everyone looked...
Super evil.
You know that
Were they gooey?
feeling? No.
Yeah, were the people gooey?
No. But do you know that feeling you get when just something isn't right?
Yeah, I guess. Yes.
It's hard to describe. That's kind of what I felt, and started talking to some people there. They didn't sound normal. And, well, a few minutes later, somebody attacked me in the tavern. And we made a run for it. And that it was the entire town chasing us out of town.
Shit.
Yeah. So I would suggest that we scout out the area first, to get an idea of how many people we're dealing with, if we can get an idea of maybe even what's causing this.
That's a good idea. Hang on a second. And then I rub my hands together, and dark light sort of pours out, and then a goat, like a spectral goat, just clumps into view.
And you guys see this
Wow.
large spectral goat, very similar to you two, very similar in size and shape to one of the Dogwick goats, if you remember that town.
The extra large goats?
The extra large goats.
And then I'm gonna turn to my friends and be like, so this is weird, but I'm going to go inside the goat.
What?
Not that way.
That wasn't what I was
No,
expecting. That
no.
was not what I was expecting at all.
As soon as I said it, I knew
Tomar,
that you were gonna take it
changed.
weird.
Any way you slice that one, it's gonna be weird, Tomar.
I'm going to
maybe-
insert myself into the goat.
Could have maybe phrased it a little bit differently.
Psycho, let's just turn away for a sec, bud.
You got it.
He turns, he
gonna
faces
be-
the woods.
I'm not turning away.
So for the time being, I won't be able to interact with anybody. I'll only be inside the goat.
Yeah, I get it. You'll be busy.
It's very similar to when I would craft weapons for you guys.
Are you going to hurt the goat?
No, it's not alive. Don't worry about it. It'll look like a goat to them.
Okay.
So I'll take the goat into town and then scout things out.
And how long does this last for?
Let's see.
I like the spooky music.
Oh, so you're not actually having sex with the goat?
No, okay, sorry.
You're not fucking
Got
a
it.
goat.
Whoops, I gotta go to the other.
Stuff is gross.
Well, you shouldn't have got that potion from Let.
Well, it's working. It's doing the job.
Yeah, let me know if you decide to take a swig of that. You too.
You know what? While we're waiting, yeah, I will take a
All right.
swig.
A swig?
Yeah.
All right, roll a Constitution save.
Okay. That will be a 22.
Okay, so you can tell by that swig that if you were to drink much more, you'd probably get a nice buzz almost immediately. Like, it feels strong. Your body already feels tingly along your limbs. You feel warm inside.
That is good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
Take it easy on that, though.
can I get a sip?
Sure.
If I
Go
want,
for it, Pin. Wait, are you of age?
Yes.
so I can stay. The goat stays in our service for the amount of hours equal to my wisdom modifier, which is 5.
Okay.
But I can exit willingly
Okay.
from it, and my senses are gone, but they're all into the goat, and yeah.
So you're doing that.
All right,
thing
real
that
quick,
Tomar
Pinwin,
always
roll
does.
Constitution save at an advantage because as we've learned throughout our campaign, Pinwin has, for some reason, an amazing alcohol tolerance.
20.
20. All right, Pinwin, you feel kind of the same. You feel tingly in your limbs, and you know that this stuff is strong as fuck.
So
This is good stuff. We'll have to use this.
That's what I'm saying.
So
I
I-
like your town.
So I sit down cross-legged, and the goat also sits down. We face each other. I take off the goggles again, and our eyes both start to glow.
Okay.
And this goes on for like 10 minutes.
Okay. What, you guys just watch him stare at a goat for 10 minutes?
Have you ever seen the men who stare at goats?
It's the exact same
Are you
thing.
sitting like cross-legged? Or
Yeah.
He just said that.
Is your mouth hanging open and stuff like
No.
Tomar always does?
No.
Okay.
It's less derpy looking. It's kind of. I look really concentrated, basically.
Okay.
He looks constipated, really.
Gotcha.
So after 10 minutes, you...
What were we doing in the meantime?
Whatever the fuck you want. Swiggin'? You want to take a swig?
A few more
Stop peer
swigs.
pressuring me. I'm not.
You know you want to, Gorbel.
I'm good right now. I think I've had enough mind fucking for the moment.
Oh yeah, you're probably
So are
right.
we close
Let's
to
be
the town?
responsible.
Very close. 20 minutes away.
Heroes.
All right, so after 10 minutes, Tomar, you find yourself looking through the eyes of the goat, Spectra.
And it regards you briefly, and then just and just starts clomping off.
It's doing something.
You guys see, the goat
Go, go, go. Go.
just clomping off down the path.
Working then?
I think so.
Have you ever done this before?
I don't know.
All right, the time is cut down dramatically as the goat races down the path, and after about 11 minutes, you reach the gates of Hart Valley, and you can tell immediately, Tomar, that there's something different about this place. As you pass the front gate, it's completely unguarded. There's no one guarding it, which you found was typical from the last time you visited. However, on the outside of it, in a very hastily done fashion, is a symbol, painted with white, a small circle sitting on top of a large angular square.
Small circle on top of an angular square.
Yes. And the square is much larger than the circle.
Okay.
As you enter the village, town, you can see that the denizens are nowhere to be found. And in fact, you can hear a bell ringing in the distance. And if you were to look off, you can see that the moderately sized temple has a chiming bell up in its tower, as if summoning people to worship.
This feels like Resident Evil 4. I don't like it. I'm gonna clomp over by Hazel's house to see if I can see anything over there.
So the where you had your tryst with Hazel was actually at the inn, if you'll remember. Is that where you want to go?
Sure.
Okay, so you go near the inn, and you still do not see anyone. You may roll a perception check if you'd like.
I shall.
Do you have the same perception and everything, or do you have like an enhanced perception? Or
I don't know.
I would say you just have the same perception as normal.
Okay.
And is your passive perception 19?
Yeah.
Okay, then you don't even have to roll.
Okay.
Okay, you can.
Yeah, that was shit.
So you can see near the temple, you can see just a couple of figures entering it, and they're small because they're far away, but you can see that they're entering in a line. almost as if they had been waiting to enter.
How many of them?
3.
3. Okay. Can I surmise that that's probably the happening place in town?
Right now, yeah, you definitely can, with the bell tolling and all of that. Yeah. Are you able to communicate to them while you are in this form?
I can deliver a message via the goat. I can probably hop out of it, but then I would
lose
and
your
have
hold.
to,
Okay.
read.
All right. So for the moment, you guys are just watching what appears to be a meditating Tomar, sitting there in the road, cross-legged. All right.
I'll just watch in silence.
Did anybody bring cards or anything? Do you have any cards
Cards?
and
No.
games?
Nah. Got a couple more berries?
I'm good.
I have my loom.
Want another swig?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Still at advantage?
No, now you'll be rolling without advantage, just normal. I saw your roll. You
2.
you are
So
going
5 total.
Yeah, you are going to be feeling a bit drunk now, Pinwin.
Good time for drinking.
Whoops.
Good stuff.
That was a little more potent.
Gorbel, are you gonna be
the
doing anything
second
in the
time. Did not think it would do.
Hey, that's
what
how
did.
it works. That's how it works. Gotta be ready for that
just
second
But you
Gonna be
just wait. In like 2 minutes,
hanging out,
it'll be gone. I'll be back
watching
to
Tomar.
totally sober.
I trust you.
All right.
I feel like maybe I'm a bit more on guard.
I am so
after
trustworthy.
building a city.
So you'll be searching, looking around for making sure that everything's
Yeah.
safe. All right.
I'll stop by the.
What is that?
Lindsay.
I'll stop by the manor real quick to check out the state of that, or if anything's going on there before popping back.
So the manor is, if you'll remember, up outside of the city on the other side, past that temple and everything, up into the hills a bit. So you want to go do that? Mm-hmm. All right. So you're going to try to be stealthy as a goat?
I'll just wander the outskirts of the city.
So you wander the outskirts of the city. It takes a little bit of time, but you head up into the hills, and as you get closer to the manor, you see that the gate is barred, and there's a large chain wrapped around the front of the gate. In the distance, you can see that there's no lights on. It's a very vacant-looking manor, and all the grass behind the gate has been overgrown, as if no one's passed that way in a long time.
Okay. All right. With that, I'll just suck the goat up into me and fade back into myself.
You guys see Tomar shudder all of a sudden, as if waking from a slumber.
And then I put the goggles back on and then stand up.
Good morning.
Wake up, sleepyhead.
That wasn't too long, was it?
We
was
were
about-
waiting here for a little while.
I would say a total of about 20 minutes.
Well, sorry. I hope you had.
Hey, that's an important job.
Town's pretty much vacant. It looks like the manor's closed off completely. Looks like nobody's been there, but there was a bell that chimed, and then a couple of people went into the temple, and it was kind of weird, like a ritual sort of thing.
Do I remember
Did you
hearing a
see
bell
what they did in
when
the
I was
temple?
here last?
I did not.
How were they dressed?
How were they dressed?
They were dressed in plain clothes, like normal labor clothes, townsfolk.
They just looked like normies.
No soldiers.
Didn't see any soldiers. So I think we could just head there and then scope out the temple.
Fuck it, let's check it out.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so you guys...
Couldn't find a closer tree.
Well, I did this on purpose so we could scout out the area.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You guys head west slightly and follow the path, the same path that you're familiar with now, Tomar, and it takes you about 20 minutes to get up near the gate, and once you guys get close, you guys can see from a distance the small circle sitting on top of the square, painted roughly and hastily on the outside wall.
Does anyone recognize that?
Go ahead and roll and add your intelligence modifier.
Ooh, that didn't work.
12.
18. 11.
So no, you guys, none of you,
18?
yeah, none of you guys recognize this symbol.
Well, I wasn't there before.
It definitely was not there before.
Does it look cultish? Do we get a cultish
Is it a
vibe from
cultish
it?
looking
You get a
circle
pretty
of square?
cultish vibe from it.
Yeah, I'm getting cultish vibes here.
It's weird.
Is it dripping at all?
No, it's been there for a while.
This sort of reminds me of Old Cairn, to be honest, when we first went there.
Yeah. That same dead vibe.
There definitely were, like, zombies. Zombie-like things
There were
there.
zombies in Old Cairn.
Well, not really. Not exactly. Like, they were still, like...
What
I
is
don't know.
What is Old Cairn?
That's where we were. That's where you arrived. It's called Wolves Rest now.
Oh, I just heard of it as Wolves Rest.
You've heard of it as Wolves Rest? So, like, people know about it.
Who is spreading the
Well,
word?
I just heard from that guy at the inn in
He knew it was called Wolves
Arrowhead
Rest?
Tavern or whatever.
Arrowview?
Arrowview?
And once he says that, you guys know that Jan from the Arrowview Tavern, the guy who you guys, that's where you guys met Mirrorluck in the first place over a year ago, and you two specifically know that he is a good friend of the Wolves of Moonreach.
Apparently not good enough to keep his mouth shut.
Well, that leads to be said, but
Not a dead man.
all right. Do you choose to enter the town?
Yup.
Let's go.
I shall.
All right. Are you just going to walk in willy nilly, or what are you going to do?
Willie, no. I'll lead the way.
My
right.
passive perception is pretty good.
Yeah,
We need to spot
I think most of
anything.
you guys have like a 19 for
Yeah,
passive.
I've got 19.
Okay, so you guys carry on. It's getting close to evening now
Wait, how?
because it was late afternoon when you left,
Oh.
and it's been
I
like
thought it was, like, late morning when we...
it was late
We were,
morning
like,
before the
shopping
training.
and stuff,
Okay.
or whatever.
And then you went shopping and all this stuff. When you were outside the city, it was late afternoon.
Sure.
And now that it's been an extra, like, hour and 15 minutes, you are getting close to evening.
Gotcha.
It would otherwise be a beautiful sunset. As it's late afternoon, early evening, the sun sets earlier in the winter. And normally you would think maybe the red and blue and purple hues would be beautiful. But in this setting, it's a little unsettling. It almost seems a little nefarious, this sunset.
See what I was talking about? Just that feeling?
You all feel just a little... ugh.
That's how evil feels, you know?
As you walk through the
Gross.
empty town, you are aware that there are no children running around. There are no
Good.
people. You pass the vacant stall of the blacksmith, the half-orc blacksmith that was so cranky and cantankerous when you first were here, but gave you valuable input on how to get into the manor itself. You pass the inn where you had your tryst with Hazel, and you pass the tavern after that where you guys had those strong drinks, and where you received help from that bartender in subduing those Rothians with your diarrhea berries.
Shitberries! Nostalgia.
You move through the town towards the temple, and the bell is still ringing, and deep within you can hear Holy, holy, holy.
What does that sound like?
Is that another language?
No, it's not necessarily another language. It just sounds like
Holla, holla,
many, many voices saying something in unison.
That's not good.
Can
can't-
we understand what they're saying?
Not at this distance.
Can I run up and sneak up and peek in the door? To the...
I will allow you
front
to
door?
run up and peek in through the door.
Be careful, Pinwin.
All right, so
I
you're
got
gonna need
this.
to.
This is fine.
You are going to need to roll sleight of hand.
Sleight of door.
What did you get?
25.
All right, so you very carefully and very quietly are able to pull the door open just about a half an inch and peek in. And you can see a large congregation of people all chanting, and up in the front. It's hard to make out, but it seems like there is a large shape at the head with one person standing in front leading the chants. You can't quite make out the large shape, though. It's very dim inside.
I'll scuttle back to the group and tell them what I saw. So yeah, there's like a person on stage and like shape super dark, like dim in there. I can't see super well, but yeah, totally culty kind of feel.
There,
Did you see Aquamarine in there? I mean, Cyan. Sorry.
I don't know what he looks like, so I don't know.
Probably
What does he look
blue.
I know what he looks like, but I don't know if I ever got a
I
description.
don't think
for him.
I saw a blue
He's
guy.
he's an older Zugo gentleman, Zugoese,
Okay.
and yeah,
Could you
short
tell
cropped hair.
what they were saying?
They were saying, "Arise, arise,"
Oh, fuck.
and Pinwin relays that as much.
We
What
need to stop them, like,
So
post-haste.
the figure, so there was a figure behind somebody on a stage?
Very large.
Very large figure.
Very large.
We might have to get a peek at that to see if anyone knows what that is. You didn't recognize it at all?
Excuse me.
Okay.
Nope.
Tried to do it away from the microphone.
I mean, we could
I've
just
seen that.
bust on in there, but there's a chance that Cyan might get hurt.
There's a chance that they might be sacrificing him right now to whatever is arising.
Oh,
So we
we
best...
should probably get in there.
Yeah.
We should probably just go balls to the wall.
What does that mean?
It means we bust in and we fucking kill him.
Oh, forgot you were here.
Zyko's gripping the pole of his halberd very roughly. His knuckles are almost white. He seems very keen to get inside and help.
Is there another entrance to the temple?
That would require an investigation check.
I'll do investigation.
My shadows, that was bad.
Jesus fuck.
And if you're going to be investigating the temple, it's also going to require a sneak check, a stealth check.
Do you want us to do that
15.
first?
Do the stealth check first, and then do the investigation.
20.
Okay.
For stealth.
So I didn't get the the stealth first. Mm-hmm. So that was 8, and then the investigation was 10.
16 for investigation.
4 for stealth. 6 for investigation.
And you got what for
So
what?
I just peeked around windows very
of
loudly
them.
and didn't see shit.
Both of mine were less than 10.
Okay.
So.
And you had
Christ.
Pinwin,
What was it? Like 18 and 16?
18 and 16, and Gorbel?
10 for stealth and 20 for investigation.
So, Pinwin, you are able to slip to one side unnoticed, but the three of you, or I guess I didn't roll for Zyko, one moment. Yeah, so the four of you begin to start to move to investigate when the door of the temple opens up, and a bass drop, and a tall half elf, riddled with what looks to be a pox, his face full of sores, his arms covered in large open gashes, looks at all of you. As the door slams closed behind him, he says, "What are you doing here?"
Can he see us?
He can see you guys. He is unable to see Pinwin.
We're here to
We're part
worship.
Yes. Arise.
We're here for the ceremony.
Arise.
Arise.
Roll deception, everyone.
So it's a group check, right?
Yes, just the three of you. Well, and Zyko. Oh,
That's
nice.
11 for me.
That is a 10 for me.
20.
All right, so You and Zyko saying, "Arise, arise! We're here to worship." You guys just look like you're just going along for the ride, the rise. But he believes you, Gorbel, just immediately.
Oh, well,
He says,
well, come on in. Why are you waiting outside?
he moves closer to you, and you can see that his sores and pox look very, very
Contagious.
contagious. And he reaches out to put a hand on your shoulder.
Can we roll to see if we can tell what's happening to his skin?
I'll
Medicine
say,
check?
yeah, that's a medicine check for sure.
I will do that. I have a high medicine.
I'm gonna sniff.
Can
those
I
sores.
also?
That would
Can I
be
view all
16?
this? Okay.
Man, this,
17.
No.
17 for you, her Stag, and for you, Tomar?
16.
16?
8.
All right, you two are able to see that this is some... It looks like he has opened those wounds himself on his arm, or perhaps allowed someone else to do it, and exposed himself to some sort of virus, perhaps.
So it's like a disease?
He seems very pleased with the results of his skin.
Like he's showing.
Baby,
it
it's
off?
nuclear
Yes.
cell.
But it's not necessarily like a sickness or something that I've seen before.
You have not seen a sickness that looks like this, no. Well, actually, you know what? The two of you would have seen this. This is horse pox. And it is basically the
I thought you said
features-
a horse box.
It's a horse box. No, this is horse pox, and what it is it is a contagious illness that does not kill, but it horribly disfigures and causes the basically the person to be dehydrated and forces them to crave different modes of like carnivorous flesh.
Fuck.
What are the... How is it contracted?
So they are bad.
It is contracted through the blood.
Hence the
Don't
sword.
let him bleed on you.
and as he
Don't let him touch you.
I dip out of the way,
dexterity save.
saying,
At an advantage.
I need to get inside.
Right.
So that's gonna be 23.
23. All right. You easily avoid his slow-moving hand. No, he jutted it out to rest on your shoulder.
just
Yep, and
dip right in here.
You move out of reach of him, and he looks a little confused.
Please, come. Come in. Don't just stand there out in the cold.
Come on, guys.
Totally.
I follow.
All right. He opens the door for you. Pinwin, you're still in hiding.
Don't let anybody touch you.
Are you going to choose to stay in hiding, or are you going to enter
I'm going to try to sneak in the door behind them and try
without
and-
being noticed?
Yeah.
All right. We'll make that another stealth check at an advantage because they're not paying attention to you.
19.
You are like the night. You are not
Me and
able to be
shadow.
seen. Yep.
I'm on shadow.
So the two of you are very slowly creeping in. You four, you three and Zyko, enter in the back of the temple, and no one seems to turn in your direction. They're so caught up in their chant. Arise, arise, arise. It's a vast cacophony of voices, different ages, different genders, different races, all facing the front. And as you get closer, you can see there is a single individual standing at the head at an altar, leading them in their chant. And behind him is a large square shape that looks very similar to a carriage, and on top is a deteriorated and rotten head.
Oh, shit.
Resembling Lord Bartleby.
Fuck. It's the carriage worshippers.
These guys are.
So, as an aside to the listeners, in the last arc, at the very beginning, they killed and trussed up a really douchey lord named Lord Bartleby. They stuck his head on top of his carriage, and it made it just an awful scene. And before they left, they discovered that there were some people that had begun to worship this as some sort of idol. It seems now that they have made a full-blown religion out of it that has completely overtaken this town.
Did you mention to the audience what the theme of this arc is?
No. The theme of this arc is consequences. So many of the things that you guys did and experienced in the last arc might either come back as a boon or come back to bite you in your ass.
So is there open space like that we can get up close?
I can't believe it's the cart. I can't believe that
What's
we have
going to be-
consequences for our actions.
What's going to play Lord Bartleby in the cart? Lord Cartleby.
5 experience.
We've had to have done that before.
I don't think so. Alright, so you guys see as all of these people continue to arise, 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 arise. And at the head on the altar is a long-haired, long-bearded, bald-pated on the top old man.
He's got a skullet.
He's got a skullet, and you remember him from before as the one leading the small group at the time, worshippers in the forest. And he speaks out over all of the patrons here in the temple. Arise! And as we said before, and we will say again, arise, old and ancient god of the wood, in his square form with his deteriorating skull. We know that once our prayers are answered by you, that you will arise from this form and take over in the material plane.
I lean over to Pinwin and whisper into his ear. Do you think you can shoot that head off?
Yes. And I'll try to shoot the head off the cart.
Brothers and sisters, continue to chant with me. Arise! Arise!
All right! I mean, all right!
All right.
All right, so Pinwin, you're going to take a shot.
Okay. And before I shoot... I'm sorry, it's just a cart. Look!
You're going to yell that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then rolled
To attack?
21. Let me double check. Yep, 21.
21 to hit. So Pinwin yells, what did you yell? It's just a cart?
It's just a cart. We made a mistake.
And fires an arrow. And it slooks right into the center of the deteriorated skull, and the skull itself splits apart in a gross little squelch.
Ugh.
Oh, God.
And just black nothing just piles out of it, and bugs and maggots. And you can see it from there. And the man at the altar stares up behind him, mouth agape, and looks back at the back of the temple where Pinwin is still holding the bow, and the rest of you are clustered near him. And there's a shocked and stunned silence in the entire temple. And suddenly, he screams out, "All of you, attack!" And that's where we're going to end it.
Lame. Holy damn.
Gross.
So gross.
So we'll allocate experience here. So for the session itself, you guys are going to take... Hold on, let me pull this up. We do an allocation at the end of each session where first I give everyone experience for combat and role-playing, and then they all kind of make a... What's the word I'm looking for?
Case?
Yeah, make a case for what experience they should also get. And then we do something called the MVPC, the most valuable playing character of the session. Everybody votes on it, and that person gets an extra 500 experience points.
Whoa.
So right now, for general role-playing, first arc, this first session of the third arc down, everyone is going to take 5,000 experience. Being level 11, it's not as awesome as it would be normally. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Everybody's at level 11 because this is our 44th session playing together in this same campaign.
Y'all missed a lot.
Yeah, there's been a lot of backstory. And once again, if you guys want to check out what has happened in the past, visit our social media in the link below the cast here, and you can read a little kind of a brief overview of what's happened so far. Maybe someday we'll upload a verbal version for those of you who either cannot or refuse to read. But in the meantime, we'll have the very heavily written version. So for general role-playing, like I said, 5,000 experience. And for just the general start of everything, we'll do an extra 2,000 experience. It's never easy to come into a new arc. It's kind of hard to find to make the ends meet and figure out where you're supposed to go, but you guys figured out at least one path towards story making, and we'll see where this goes. We also want to do, for you two, Gorbel and Tomar, engaging in a battle, kind of as a, hey, missed ya, also, fuck you kind of thing. You guys can each have 1,500 experience points for that. And Tomar, you can have an extra 200 for getting her to yield.
Some of us were holding back.
I should have hopped in on that fight.
All right, make your case for more experience.
Pinwin's managerial skills of the belt.
That was really good.
Yeah. Way to play to the role. You can have 200 experience for that because that made me laugh, and I liked how you were sticking to your guns with trying to make your very, very curmudgeonly associates be friendly.
Yeah.
Who else?
I fed the group for the whole day.
You did. Way to use good berries. You can have 200 experience for that.
You also made a portal that saved
I
us.
also
Yeah, that
made
was
a
2 days
portal
of travel.
that
That was pretty
got
cool.
us right to the
Throw another 100 on top of that.
Cool.
Utilizing a spell that has not been seen before, at least in this campaign.
Yeah.
How about for Gorbel making Tomar dance for like the first time in his life?
Yeah, you can have 50 experience, Gorbel, for forcing him outside of his comfort zone.
How about scouting with my cosmic goat?
You can have 50 for that. And just for you listeners at home, this is completely arbitrary and based on my whim how much I award, how worthy I think it is of experience. As the DM, it is my duty to decide that, and it is my extreme pleasure. What else do you guys need XP for?
I was a really good bad cop.
You were a good bad cop
You were the worst cop.
for being mildly intimidating to Hearse dog. You can have 50 experience.
Yeah.
How about for being the most
Patient.
patient, the most cooperative person that this group has ever interrogated before.
That's
So for being your character and also letting everybody else shine while you waited in a cell, you can have 500 experience points.
I built a pretty well-functioning town.
Yes, for getting together with me separately and figuring out allocating funds and stuff like that. But Elijah, you also helped. So Gorbel, for taking the time to figure out where everything goes, you can have 400 experience points. Elijah, for coming up with the initial list, you can have 200 experience points.
Nice.
Tomar, for your very intensive backstory that no one else knows about really right now, you can have 200 experience points.
There's more.
Well, there was a lot that happened. We literally did basically a session 0 through Facebook chat.
I actually missed homework for that day because we were texting so long about it.
An extra 50 for missing homework.
Woo! School
Choosing
sucks.
your battles. Same for you, Pinwin. You can have an extra 100 for the backstory that has been crafted. Though, once Ricardo makes his appearance, you'll get some more experience for that. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
So, how should we do this? Should we write down on a note card who we think should get the MVPC?
If you guys want anonymity, you can. Otherwise, we can just vote. I feel like everybody is kind of.
I think we should vote out loud, and that way we can kind of make arguments.
Yeah, let's do that. That'll be fun.
And we can't vote for ourselves, right?
You cannot vote for yourselves.
Well, I would vote. I probably would vote for Pinwin just because he really just stuck to his character and was just generally funny the whole time.
All right. One vote for Pinwin.
I would actually vote for Pinwin, too.
2 votes for Pinwin. Pinwin, who do you vote for?
You guys are silly. I didn't do anything to that ass. Maybe Hearse Stag, because that tree portal was super dope.
Yeah, that was really good.
Super cool.
I was actually going to vote for Hearse Stag also for doing some super cool stuff.
Our very first MVPC is at a tie. We have entered the lightning round.
Now everybody fuck. Just fuck any hole you can find.
Okay, so since I didn't prepare for this, you guys both win MVPC of the session. So you guys can each have an extra 500 experience points.
Or you could just split it in half.
You know what? That's an even better idea. You guys each get 250 experience points.
Hold on. So, are you saying that if we all were just let's just work it out so we each vote for each other?
No, then I get 500 experience points.
Well,
Bullshit.
that was cool. If you guys listening think that somebody deserved MVPC that we didn't vote for, let us know, and then maybe we can take it into account in the following episode. Or something.
So if somebody wins the fan favorite award, maybe they can get some extra experience points. I'll throw some out there. And if you want to vote for me, obviously, I'm always willing to accept that, and I'll level myself up as a DM because
That
Lord
means
knows, Lord knows I need it. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, let us know. As always, this is the first time, but definitely like and subscribe, and like all our social media.
Ding any bells that exist.
Yeah, anything that we've got going, just please hit it up.
Share with your friends.
I know we had a blast. I had a blast. I'm sure you guys had a blast because duh.
Blasts were had.
Blasts were had. But yeah, we will have another session here very soon, and hope you guys enjoyed listening. In the meantime, this is the D20 Syndicate, where we play adventures so you guys don't have to. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.